Naruto, starting the live broadcast to the ninja world. Welcome back, brave explorers of impossible worlds. We are excited to have you here to continue this odyssey together. Before we continue, everything you'll hear is pure fiction, so please don't try to replicate combat techniques at home. This wonderful story and all its rights belong to its brilliant original author. We are only the messengers of entertainment. Want another dose of adventure? Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss a single chapter. And if you want to support us directly and enjoy exclusive content, check out our Ko-Fi. Chapter 526, Distorted Destiny. My father passed away when I was a child, and I have lived alone in this castle ever since. When the two of them walked to a large hall, Sharon said, "We will hold the wedding ceremony here, and then we will enter the reincarnation space and sleep forever until the dust settles on the collapsed Earth environment. This is impossible. The moon will also completely collapse. Don't worry. This castle is protected by strong chakra." Hinata asked. "Chakra of a strong man?" Sharon turned around and walked back. As he walked, he explained, "Yes, it can even move the moon." "What's the meaning?" "This is the power of the Akatsuki treasure, created with the pain of our clan." Hinata followed behind Tonari and asked, "Is there such a thing? Where is it?" Sharon stopped at this point. The face of Naruto that he had seen through Hinata's memory before appeared in his mind. "I can't tell you, Ninja World, if you don't have the power of this Akatsuki treasure, which may even threaten your own life. Will you still follow the destiny of your ancestor Hamura?" Those mysterious people with their faces covered before are probably puppets left by Hamura, right? It can be seen that Tonari still likes Hinata a little bit. I wonder what his mood will be when he sees Boruto in the future. On screen. "Can I go back to my room first? It's cold outside, because it's dusk all year round here. By the way, can you knit a scarf for me?" As he said this, Sharon turned around with an expectant look on his face. "I want you to knit me a scarf." Seeing Hinata silent, Tonari felt a little disappointed. "Don't you want to? Okay, no problem." Hearing Hinata's answer, the disappointment on Tonari's face disappeared immediately. "Really? Thank you, I'm so happy, Hinata." Hinata just lowered her eyes, and no one knew what she was thinking, but suddenly, Sharon's painful voice reached her ears. "What's wrong?" Hinata looked up and saw that Tonari was currently covering his eyes. "Don't worry, this is a sign that the Byakugan is growing into the Samsara Eye. Just take a short rest." Seeing Tonari leave, Hinata opened her Byakugan and looked towards the castle behind her. It doesn't seem to be her. The memory of what she saw in that ball of light before emerged in her mind and memory. On the battlefield, the two parties are confronting each other. The leader on one side waved his arm, and the soldiers behind him rushed to the opposite side. The middle-aged man with a white turban stretched out his arm and commanded, "Samsarangan. Activate." The sphere on the tower behind him lit up, then shot a laser towards the opposing camp. Boom! The huge explosion spread to the entire camp. When the residual power dissipated, no one in the opposite camp was spared and all fell to the ground. In Hinata's eyes, figures appeared beside the grave. In front of her, standing in the middle, is the middle-aged man who called her the white-eyed princess. The middle-aged man closed his eyes, took a few steps forward, and said to Hinata, "We are the descendants of Hamura, the descendants of the main family of the Akatsuki clan. The descendants of the branch family distorted the interpretation of Hamura's destiny and slaughtered all of our main family. As a descendant of a branch family, Tonari abused the power of the Samsara Eye and planned to make the moon fall to the earth. The only person who can destroy the Samsara Eye is you, Byakugan princess." At this moment, the members of the Akatsuki family standing on both sides knelt on one knee, and the middle-aged man also turned sideways and bowed slightly. A gradually solidified shadow walked out from the crowd, looking at the old man with the truth-seeking jade floating behind him. Hinata's eyes widened and she said in disbelief, "You are Akatsuki Hamura." Hamura nodded slightly and said, "Byakugan princess, we cannot let the world created by our brother be destroyed just like that." End of memories. Ninja World. What? The branch family distorted Hamura's destiny. Did I misunderstand Hamura before? Even Hamura calls Hinata the white-eye princess. That big ball is the Samsara Eye? It doesn't really fit in the eye socket, does it? Fire Nation Muai Village Hokage Building. Fugaku frowned. Did Tonari deceive Hinata? Shikoku was also lost in thought. That may not be the case. It is very likely that the distorted destiny is the truth that Sharon knows. Is this so? Sarutobi Hiroza nodded. It does make sense. Hyuga clan Hayashi looked at Hinata in surprise. "Then I couldn't help but take another look." The white-eyed princess acknowledged by Hamura's ancestors. "It's really flattering." Pure Land Minato had a complicated expression. "So that's it. Hinata also has a mission, so she chooses to leave with Tonari." On screen, Hinata held Hanabi's hand. her face full of heartache. Hanabi, so pitiful. I will definitely find the Samsara Eye and destroy it. Screen turn not far from the castle. Shikamaru's voice rang out. After all this time, I didn't expect that Sharon was hiding in the artificial sun. Sagi wondered, why can't Hinata's Byakugan detect it? Isn't it that he used the technique to block the Byakugan on the artificial sun? Where's the entrance? Just go and ask them. After saying that, Shikamaru threw a kunai with an explosive tag tied to it into the air. After a loud boom, countless puppets riding on flying birds emerged. Sagi dodged the flying light ball. What are you doing? The enemy has discovered you. Come with me, I'll tell you later. Shikamaru rode a big white bird and rushed towards the densely packed puppets in front. Shikamaru dodged the ball of light and locked his eyes on one of the puppets. I finally understand. Sagi. Retreat. After Shikamaru shouted this, the two turned around and flew backwards. The puppets behind them were chasing them relentlessly, continuously releasing balls of light at them. Sonya unfolded the scroll. Super Beast fake painting. A giant crab appeared and blocked the ball of light shot by the puppet inside the castle. Sharon took the knife and fork and cut the beef on the plate. Dinner with someone to talk to is a special experience. Tonari looked up at Hinata, who was sitting across from him at the table. Come, let's talk more about you. Hinata knitted the scarf in her hand, and instead of choosing the topic raised by Tonari, she asked, are you willing to talk to the ninjas on Earth? Fire Nation Muai Village, Naruto's house. Naruto pointed at Hinata on the screen. I feel like that scarf was knitted for me. 2. Jiraiya looked at Tonari on the screen with a strange expression. I have the same feeling. If Hinata gives you the scarf she promised to knit for him in front of Tonari, that's interesting. Naruto imagined the scene. Then he will probably fight me with 200% of his strength. After thinking for a while, Naruto added, but I have the help of the big fox, so I won't lose to him. Sealed space. Kyuubi pressed the corners of his mouth down hard. Tisk. Flattery is useless to me. You haven't even learned to walk yet, and you want to borrow my power to go up to the sky and punch the chakra progenitor and kick the Akatsuki. Give up this idea. It is impossible for me to lend you chakra now. Chapter 527 Hamura Temple. On screen what? Hinata said, the ninjas on Earth have indeed never stopped using chakra to create disputes, but now it's different. Everyone unites and cooperates to protect the precious peace. So, Sharon's tone was very firm. They will provoke disputes again. The world of the six-path sage must be destroyed. But, Sharon slammed the goblet down on the table. Don't mention this anymore. Just eat in peace. When he said the second half of the sentence, Sharon's originally stressed tone softened a little. The atmosphere between the two of them took advantage of the opportunity. For a moment Hinata turned her head and looked out the window, and the moving castle happened to pass by an island. She noticed something unusual and asked, that island is? Sharon also looked out the window. Has it appeared yet? That is Hamura's shrine, which is held once a year. It will appear near the castle during the reincarnation festival. Screen turn. Hinata rolled her eyes and came to the Icelandans. Absolutely correct. The Samsara Eye is hidden on that island. Moon. Hinata. Naruto sat up suddenly. Ninja World. Sharon is too fierce. Naruto is more gentle. Tonari is right. The 5 great nations will eventually lead to a war. However, this should not be a reason for him to destroy the ninja world. Naruto finally woke up. I thought Naruto had already woken up, but later I found out that only Shikamaru and Sonya went into the artificial sun. It seems that the explosion that can blow through the moon is really powerful. It can actually make you unconscious for so long, right? It's not common to get injured by falling down. It's time to save Hinata. Tonari's eyes are above Hinata. I believe him if he says the entire artificial sun is under his surveillance. How could Hinata's little tricks be hidden from Tonari? Akatsuki Hamura is so stubborn. He asked Hinata to destroy the Samsara Eye, but he didn't even give her some strength or a few truth-seeking beads. On screen you finally woke up hearing Shikamaru's voice. Naruto was stunned. Finally, you have been in a coma for 3 days. With that said, Shikamaru walked up to Naruto. Did anything happen between you and Hinata? Naruto turned his head away. No, nothing happened, but in my dream, you kept calling Hinata, and you also said some embarrassing lines. Sagi smiled and said, but hearing Naruto's corny truth was quite helpful to me. Naruto didn't want to pay any attention to them and laid back down with his back to the two of them. Shikamaru looked at him and said, Naruto, let's go save Hanabi and Hinata. Naruto closed his eyes angrily and pretended not to hear. Shikamaru provoked, don't you want to meet the woman who dumped you? Sagi also assisted from the side. As a ninja, Naruto is so strong, but when he was heartbroken, he actually acted like a weakling. He discovered his fatal weakness. Ninja World, I thought I had a weird dream, but it turned out to be just some corny truth. I'm so disappointed. It's really not Naruto's fault that he misunderstood Hinata. If you want to blame someone, blame Hamura for asking Hinata to destroy the Samsara Eye. Giving Hinata such a heavy task, I guess when Hinata chose to go with Tonari, she didn't think about coming back alive. I still don't understand why Hinata is the White Eye Princess, and what does this title mean? Naruto will go to rescue her, even if he doesn't know the truth. On screen, Hamura Shrine. Hinata actually wants to visit the shrine on her own initiative? Hamura should be very happy too. As he spoke, Hinata, Tonari and the three puppets had already walked into the hall. The Samsara Eye is right here. After passing through the dark corridor, the two finally arrived at the place where the Rinnegan was placed. This is, Sharon said, it is the Samsara Eye. This is the treasure of the Akatsuki that can move the moon. Hearing Hinata's words, Tonari frowned slightly. The puppet behind her said to her, Lady Hinata, only noble people can worship the real Samsara Eye. This place is a temple for the servants to worship. That's it. Looking at Hinata beside him, Tonari didn't know what he was thinking. On the way back, Tonari on the round platform said to Hinata, I will take you to see the real Samsara Eye after the wedding ceremony. Hinata, who was looking ahead, seemed to notice something unusual and was suddenly startled. She opened her Byakugan and locked onto a location. Only the vision there is distorted. I see. I understand. Ninja World, I'm still confused. What on earth do I understand? Tonari is still good to Hinata. From what I can see so far, he probably hasn't noticed anything unusual about Hinata. But if he finds out about Hinata's actions, I just hope Naruto can get there sooner. Could the Samsara Eye be Hamura's? The Six-Path Sage has the Samsara Eye, and as the son of the original ancestor, it would be reasonable for Hamura to have a similar eye. On screen, Moon looking at Naruto's back, hugging his knees. Shikamaru asked, how long will you be depressed? Naruto was silent. Have you not only given up on women, but also given up on being Hokage? Okay, give up everything. I don't want women or Hokage anymore. Under Shikamaru's stimulation, Naruto finally responded. He stood up, walked over and grabbed Shikamaru by the collar, and asked angrily, what did you say, Shikamaru? Are you provoking me? Shikamaru looked him straight in the eye and said in a deep voice, I don't know what happened between you and Hinata, but you are a ninja, right? Naruto was stunned. Shikamaru turned around and said, follow me. At the same time, inside the castle, Sharon covered his eyes and stood up across from her. Hinata, who was sewing a scarf, looked up. The servant said to her, I will go to my room to rest for a while. I am looking forward to the scarf you knit for me. After saying that, he walked towards the room. Hearing the door closing, Hinata opened the window and climbed out of the castle. In the room, Sharon looked at the ceiling. I feel it, I feel it, I feel the movement of my eyeballs. The complete reincarnation eye is about to be born. Moon Sakura, Shikamaru beside Naruto explained, in order to save you from the brink of death, Sakura used up almost all of her chakra. Sakura? Naruto walked towards Sakura. Sakura opened her eyes and said weakly, Naruto? Sakura? I'm sorry. Sai walked up to Shikamaru. Will Sakura handle not only physical treatment but also psychological reconstruction? Shikamaru asked back, what else? Can you do it? Makes sense with that. They both walked out. Sakura had also finished listening to Naruto's story at this point. I see. I never thought you would take the initiative to confess to Hinata, eh? Before, didn't you say that you like me? But I think that's because I like Sasuke, right? And you don't want to lose to Sasuke this time. I'm serious. Hinata is a good girl, but you are not worthy of her. Chapter 528 Awakening. Naruto's tone was obviously a little depressed. Sakura, everything is over. Hinata chose to stay by Tonari's side. You are really stupid. It's easy to imagine that there must be something unspeakable. After saying that, Sakura turned away from the stunned Naruto and looked at the ceiling, whispering softly, once a girl truly falls in love, it is not so easy to change her mind. I will not change my mind. I know this very well. Ninja World. Sakura is so gentle at this moment. If she continues to be so gentle, I think Hinata will be able to shake her position in Naruto's heart. Sakura is right. Naruto is really stupid. It's obvious that there must be something hidden. Although I really want to see how powerful the Samsara Eye is, I still hope Hinata can succeed. Somewhere in the Ninja World. Future Sasuke had a complicated expression. Feel sorry. You have indeed been kept waiting for too long. I have always ignored your feelings on screen. This is. Hinata looked into the huge golden eyes in front of her. The reincarnation eye. Hinata took an attacking stance, her eyes determined. We need to block the moon. As soon as this thought came to my mind, I heard a noise behind me. Hinata was startled and looked back, and saw several puppets had already arrived. The leading puppet stretched out his arm. The puppets all around rushed towards Hinata. Hinata easily suppressed these puppets with her exquisite physical skills. Just when she was about to slap the puppet in front of her, her body paused, and then flew backwards uncontrollably until she stopped next to Sharon. Sharon grabbed her wrist and said, "What are you going to do?" At this point, Hinata can only try to convince Tonari it is wrong to destroy the earth. Sharon asked, "What do you mean? Hamura's soul entrusted the true destiny to me. You have completely distorted Hamura's teachings. Hamura does not want the earth and the ninja world created by the six-path sage to be destroyed." Tonari frowned. "Have you betrayed me?" "Hinata, please listen to me, Hamura." Hinata wanted to explain. Sharon's tone was full of anger. "Shut up, you're lying. I don't believe that nonsense. Hamura has only one destiny, which is to end the world of the six-path sage." Tonari came into the room angrily and grabbed the red scarf that Hinata had woven. "Damn it. This isn't for me, is it for that guy?" As he said this, Sharon clenched his palms hard, and the scarf suddenly shattered, with the broken red wool threads flying everywhere. Sharon stepped on the red rags, and a green spirit ball appeared in his hand. "You will never be able to, again in this way. You betrayed me." "Hey!" Tonari's hand holding the spirit ball pierced into Hinata's chest. "Ninja world, it failed. Knew it would be like this." Tonari is terrible when he gets jealous. In comparison, Naruto acts like a child when he gets jealous. Why destroy it? Wouldn't it be more stimulating to Naruto if you put it on shamelessly? That green ball in Sharon's hand won't explode, right? Very good. The situation is now even more unfavorable. Hinata should tell Naruto what she knows. On screen, Moon inside the cave. Naruto hugged his knees in a daze. "Hinata, I'm such a fool. I finally understand. I understand what you meant by giving me the scarf when you went to see Tonari. Your kindness is like the wool that has been woven into a scarf over a long period of time. It cannot be unraveled easily." Thinking of this, Naruto stood up and walked out of the cave. "Just wait. You are willing to love me wholeheartedly. As a man, I have something to tell you." He walked into the sunlight and held out his hand to block the glare. "Hinata, I will definitely keep you safe. Come back to me." Hinata and her group, who were controlled by the spirit ball in the castle, had tears streaming down their cheeks. Naruto, now on the disc recording the time when the moon hit the earth, the last character also began to flash. This means that Naruto doesn't have much time left. Somewhere in the ninja world, a ragged Rezu took 2 steps and then fell to the ground with a plop. A figure slowly walked towards him. The bright light from the meteorite across the sky illuminated the man's face. "Ninja world, it's you. Sas, let the meteorite go first, and then chase it and destroy it later, right? As expected of you, you still have to pretend even if there is only Rezu as the audience. It seems like there's not much time left." "Naruto, you realized it too late. It seems that Sasuke brought Hayashi back to the village. Otherwise, with so many meteorites, Hayashi might have died here." "Sas, after you finish this job, go back to the village and stay for a while. Let Sakura also experience the same feeling that Hinata had before. I'm going to see Sasuke smash the meteorite again. Even though I've seen it once, I feel like I can never get enough of that scene. Sasuke really fulfills all my fantasies. If it weren't for the screen, who would have thought that Kumagakure had quietly developed such a powerful weapon?" On screen, as the puppet struck the gong, Tonari and Hinata, both wearing kimonos, walked into the palace inside the artificial sun. At this time, whoa, 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 Shikamaru controlled the big bird to avoid the dense light balls. "You are invited to assist. It is good." Naruto responded, and a Rasenshuriken appeared in his hand and he threw it out. Bang 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 bang. This huge spiral shuriken easily cut through the group of puppets riding blackbirds in front. Shikamaru looked at the puppet above and formed seals with his hands. Shadow binding technique. 3 shadows tied up the puppet on the blackbird. When the shadows shrank, Shikamaru jumped onto the blackbird where the puppet was. Continue. "We are about to enter the center of the castle. It is good." Naruto controlled the big bird and followed Shikamaru, with Sakura and Sony following behind him. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The puppet's ball light hit the big bird under Sakura. Sakura screamed suddenly and her body fell downward. Naruto jumped up and grabbed Sakura's hand, and a big white bird caught the 2 falling people. "Naruto, thank you. It's a small matter, not worth mentioning. I owe you too many favors." "This is nothing, Ninja World. Fortunately, it is a peaceful time. Otherwise Naruto's Rasenshuriken would have wiped out all the ninjas from the opposite big ninja village." It was thanks to Sakura that Naruto came to his senses this time. Otherwise he would have thought that Hinata chose Tonari because she fell in love with him. The more Shikamaru appears on screen, the more I see his charm. The desert princess is so lucky to marry him. On screen, the big white bird slowly landed. Shikamaru and Sony quickly hide under the castle wall. What a hassle. As he spoke, he put on gloves and covered a timer in his hand. Sally asked, "Why cover it up? Because you care too much? You will not be able to make the right judgment." Chapter 529 Control. With that, Shikamaru rushed into the castle after landing. Sakura and Naruto, who had activated Sage Mode, followed closely behind. "Naruto, can you sense Hanabi's chakra?" Naruto turned his head and looked in one direction. "Hanabi is inside that tower," Shikamaru said to the two people behind him. "Sakura, Sagi. I'll leave the fireworks to you." Sakura and Sonya responded, "Got it, Moon." Inside the temple, Tonari approached Hinata with a copper coin in his mouth. A controlled Hinata closed her eyes and slowly opened her mouth just as she was about to bite the other end of the coin. Hinata, hearing Naruto's voice, Tonari had to give up temporarily. Naruto rushed towards Tonari with his fist raised, but was blocked by the puppets around him. "You can't hit me with your fists." After saying that, Tonari took Hinata's hand and walked to the back. Shikamaru arrived and asked loudly, "Naruto, where's Hinata?" Naruto glanced in the direction the two had left. "In there, go find her." "Leave this to me, thank you." Naruto turned and rushed in the direction that Tonari had left. In front, there is a puppet wearing a tall hat blocking the way. The puppet stretched out its hand and prepared to release the ball of light, and the next moment, Naruto's figure passed by it. Then the puppet fell down. Shikamaru behind him blocked the entrance and said to the puppets, "We won't let you through. Come on, the puppet show is about to begin." When Sonya and Sakura in the castle were about to find Hanabi, their way was also blocked by puppets. At this time, the 5 major ninja villages were resisting the meteorites falling from outer space. Muai village. After a shrill cry, Sasuke shattered half of the meteorite that was falling towards the village. Kakashi looked at the figure. "Who are you? Since he is not here, the Konoha ninja village is left to me," Sasuke said. Turning around, Kakashi finally saw the face of the person who came. Sasuke's figure flashed and disappeared in mid-air. The meteorite disappeared. Hokage-sama, Kakashi, who was originally looking at the direction where Sasuke disappeared, turned around and asked, "What happened?" But then he saw Hayashi, who was in a coma. Mr. Rizu, Fire Nation, Muai village, Uchiha clan, land patriarch's house. Little Sasuke's eyes were full of envy. "It would be nice if I could become that strong right away. My future self is really pretentious. It's pretty cool. Ninja World, the leader of Konoha's largest clan, can't defeat so many puppets. Can Shikamaru do it alone?" This is because Sasuke's personality has improved. In the past, he wouldn't care whether Hayashi lives or dies. If Rizu met someone from another village, his white eyes would probably be dug out. On screen, U9 village chakra is filled to 75%, 76, 77. Inside the artificial sun castle, it never ends. Sakura clenched her fist and smashed a puppet that flew towards her on the other side. Naruto finally caught up with Tonari and Hinata. "Hinata. Hey. What did you do?" "Give Hinata back to me." "No problem, I'll give it back to you." Tonari pointed his hand at Hinata and manipulated her to slap Naruto. "Hinata, stop it." Tonari looked down at Naruto, who was dodging Hinata's attack. "How about it? My wife's skills are pretty good, right? Hateful." Naruto dodged Hinata's palm by moving sideways again. Is she being manipulated by that guy? Thinking of this, Naruto grabbed Hinata's wrist. "Hinata, I'm sorry, please bear with me for a while." Naruto's arm was wrapped in orange chakra and stabbed directly into Hinata's chest. After touching the spirit orb, Hinata's memories resurfaced in his mind. Naruto took the green spirit ball out of Hinata's chest and crushed it. He looked at Sharon angrily. "You are not allowed to control Hinata as a puppet." Tonari stretched out his hand. "Hinata belongs to me, give it back to me." The gravity was activated, and Hinata in Naruto's arms flew towards Tonari. "Hinata." Naruto chased after him. Sharon extended his hand. Step back. A repulsive force burst out from his palm, and Naruto was blown away with a bang. Naruto's body smashed a big hole in the rock behind him. Ninja World gravity and repulsion are simply the coolest abilities. It's over. Naruto's back is going to be injured again. Isn't this fall worse than the previous one? Is Sasuke protecting Konoha now? He's really needed in the battle here. I am so impressed by the Kumagakure chakra cannon. It seems exaggerated no matter how you think about it. If it can destroy so many meteorites, it can destroy a large ninja village with one strike. That green ball was taken out so easily. I thought Hinata would have to defeat Tonari before she could break free of his control. On screen, Tonari noticed that Hinata had woken up and condensed a spirit ball in his hand again. It's not time for you to wake up yet." Just as the green spirit ball was about to touch Hinata's chest, Tonari suddenly covered his eyes. Damn it. It's the last fetal movement. Hinata took this opportunity to run towards Naruto. Naruto also broke free from the human-shaped hole that was created. Hinata, Naruto, I'm sorry, I know everything. Don't say anything now. I am the one who should apologize. Then Naruto asked again, by the way, where is that guy? After hearing what Naruto said, Hinata remembered the most important thing. Hurry up now. We must destroy the Samsara Eye. Having said that, she ran towards the direction of the Samsara Eye. Samsarangi, Naruto chased after him. Castle fireworks. Sakura looked at Hanabi, who was lying on the bed with her eyes covered with the gauze. This is too much, she is just a child. Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga Clan. Niji's mouth twitched. What are you thinking about? Why don't you take advantage of this opportunity to attack Sharon? He doesn't look like he has any ability to resist at all. Hinata looked down and happened to see the same curiosity in Hanabi's eyes. She was silent. Rezu thought in his heart, Boruto's eye is also unusual. Since he is the son of Naruto and Hinata, could it be the Samsara Eye as well? Is it possible to be born with a more advanced eye? On-screen temple. If you destroy this, the moon should stop moving. Hearing Hinata's words, Naruto took 2 steps forward. Got it, use my Rasengan. No. Hinata quickly stopped him. She quickly explained, because this Samsara Eye is under a spell, if someone who is not of Hamura bloodline touches it, their chakra will be sucked away. There is such a thing. Hinata stepped forward, her hands enveloped in purple chakra. Gossip. Double lions collapse. Boom. The huge golden Samsara Eye was surrounded by purple electric current, but it returned to calm in a short moment and no damage was caused to the Samsara Eye. There is no way to destroy it. Naruto seemed to have thought of a solution, and held Hinata's hand and said, Hinata, pass your chakra to me, so that I can destroy this thing. Chapter 530, Destroying the Samsara Eye. Hearing this, Hinata understood what he meant. The 2 held hands and chakra burst out of their bodies. Bring it on, it is good. 2 figures jumped up. A golden Rasengan appeared in Naruto's hand immediately afterwards. The Rasengan was wrapped in purple chakra. With a loud bang, the 2 of them hit the golden Samsara Eye. After a moment, the Samsara Eye exploded, and countless white eyes floated out of it. This is, so the Samsara Eye, is made up of Byakugan. Fire Nation Muai Village Uchiha Clan Land Heist. The Samsara Eye is so evil, so many Byakugan. Are they the eyes of all the Akatsuki clan members on the moon? It gave me goosebumps. Hyuga Clan. Ugh, these guys on the moon are so crazy. Now I finally understand why we are caged. It's not just to protect the white eyes from being lost. Perhaps the clan leaders of all generations have always known something about the Akatsuki clan on the moon, and Lord Hayashi knew where Tonari came from before. On screen, with the white eyes destroyed, all the puppets in the artificial sun fell limply to the ground. Shikamaru was a little confused when he saw the puppets lying on the ground in front of him. What's wrong? Sakura saw that the puppet chasing her suddenly lost its ability to move and exclaimed in surprise, Muai Village Hokage-sama, the moon has stopped approaching. Unine Village chakra is filled to 95%, 96, 99, chakra is filled 100%, the 4th Raikage waved his arm. Diffusion chakra cannon. Fire. After the chakra cannon flew out of the earth, it turned into countless lasers that shattered all the meteorites drifting towards the earth. Boom boom boom. Muai Village. Kakashi looked at the stars twinkling around the moon. What happened? I know. Behind Kakashi suddenly said, emergency notice from the Kumo Ninja Village. A 5-cage meeting will be held. Ninja World, the hidden cloud village, is setting off fireworks for you. It's so beautiful. I hope I never see it again in my lifetime. The strength of the 5 major ninja villages is getting stronger and stronger, especially Konoha and Kumagakure, country of earth. Iwagakure Tsuchikage building. Ganoki looked at Itara, who was drooling, and couldn't help but sigh. The era of Iwagakure is over, and old man lives one day less. I would rather you take over as the 4th generation than Kuratsuchi. Deidara stopped drooling. Old man, don't try to trap me in this village forever. Unoki sighed again. Even if the ninja world is temporarily at peace, what if? Just like Tonari said, what if someone starts a war again one day? It's okay for Iwagakure to be weaker than Konoha, but it's also so much behind Kumagakure. Deidara's face gradually became serious. Hope rose in Inoki's eyes. This traitor can still be saved, Deidara said solemnly. When the time comes, I will avenge Iwagakure. Hope turns to despair. Dust release. Stripping limit. Deidara, who was originally sitting on the ground, suddenly jumped up. Hey hey hey. What are you doing, old man? On-screen turn AI on the top screen said, the meteorites have been completely destroyed. Unoki in the lower right corner seems a little timid. You actually hit that kind of weapon. Lord Rakage is indeed not to be underestimated. Madarumi in the lower left corner said, Tsukage-sama, could you please not change the subject? Seeing that Unoki stopped talking, AI continued, then use the space-time chakra cannon to completely destroy the moon. Want to destroy the moon? Inside the temple, Sharon stood amidst the white eyes that were floating all over the sky. Our clan offered all our eyeballs to the Akatsuki treasures, but they actually, outside the temple. What's going on? Shikamaru turned around and saw Naruto and Hinata running out. Hinata, are you okay? I'm sorry. Shikamaru put his hands on his hips. Now is not the time to say sorry. The point is what happened? The artificial sun disappeared without a trace, Naruto explained. That's because the source of power, the Samsara Eye, was destroyed by us, so the moon should not move. What? Shikamaru was startled, then took off his gloves and looked at his palms. The recording hour hand had indeed stopped at this time. Sakura and Sai also came over with Hanabi fireworks. After seeing Hanabi, Hinata thanked Sakura and Sonia. Thank you. Sakura handed over the piece of cloth in her hand. This is Hinata's. Hinata reached out and took it. Naruto asked, is this the scarf that Tonari tore? Hinata was surprised. How did you know? When Tonari's jutsu ball passed through my body, I saw your memories? Sakura asked. You were originally planning to give it to Naruto, right? Hearing this, Hinata's eyes dimmed. Is this scarf knitted for me? Naruto looked at the rag in Hinata's hand and asked, then, can you give it to me? But, it is already in ruins. Naruto said softly, it doesn't matter if it's torn, because it's the scarf you knitted. Then he stretched out his hand. Hinata placed the scrap of cloth in Naruto's palm. Thank you. I will cherish it. Hinata looked touched Naruto. Sakura's lips curled up in relief. Shikamaru beside her subconsciously wanted to scratch his head, but suddenly froze. He looked at the pointer in his palm. So he noticed something unusual and asked, what happened? This clock is still ticking? Ninja World. Wow, this is so touching. The moon is crashing into the earth again. The last fetal movement is over. Sharon should be stronger than before. Will Tonari turn his love for Hinata into hatred? Why not destroy those Byakugan? Never mind, whatever. Naruto will take care of everything anyway. It makes me want to go to the moon. If I could just get a Byakugan. I wonder if Hanabi's eyes were just two random ones she picked up from the Samsara Eye. On screen inside the template, you will use these eyes to take over the earth. Naruto, your world. The end is complete. Sharon opened his blue eyes at the same time. Muai village. That's not right. Destroying the moon is too dangerous, AI said. As long as the moon bomb is floating overhead, the earth cannot rest easy. Kakashi crossed his arms and said, calm down before making any judgments. The current situation is that the moon is stationary. No, it doesn't seem to be. Still hearing Unoki say this, everyone was a little stunned and quickly looked at the hour hand on the palm of their hand, and I saw that the light of, which had gone dark, began to flicker again. Chapter 531, we can only ask them to sacrifice. Temple. Why did the clock start moving again? I don't understand either. As soon as Shikamaru finished speaking, a loud noise was heard. The earth trembled. What's wrong? Several people turned to look. Fire Nation. Muai village. Sharon is here. What a huge stone statue. This statue is so ugly. Why does he look a bit like Hamura? This is the stone statue of Hamura. This kind of thing gives people the feeling that it is not easy to deal with. On screen, the stone statue of Hamura looked down at the few people for a moment, then slowly raised one arm and patted them. Several people jumped away quickly. Naruto, holding Hinata, enters the fairy fox mode. 9 llamas. Golden chakra bursts out. A golden fox pressed its palm on the face of the stone statue of Hamura, and the 9-tailed fox raised its fist and punched the statue in the face. Then, the 9 tails grabbed the body of the stone statue of Hamura, raised it high with both arms, and threw it out with force. Somewhere in the ninja world, little stars twinkled in Boruto's eyes. Kyuubi is so handsome, and just now, after my dad yelled Kirama, the 9 tails put his hand on the face of the stone statue. Future Sasuke looked a little more serious. The battle is about to begin. He was still very interested in this level of battle. On screen, the 9-tailed fox was knocked flying by the roaring stone statue of Hamura, destroying countless buildings. Seeing this, Naruto on the big white bird shouted in worry, Kurama. Shikamaru, who is not far away, said to Naruto, it's Tonari. Naruto was startled and turned to look. I saw Sharon standing on a big black and white bird with his hands in a seal. After the last seal was completed, Sharon's body was wrapped in a layer of green chakra. He opened his palm and several Deo-seeking jades gathered together. Silver wheel reincarnation explodes. After being covered with the green chakra, the truth-seeking jade formed a tornado and attacked the people on the big white bird. Several people had no time to dodge and were caught in the tornado, and the big bird under them instantly turned into ink. Boom, until this horrific tornado broke through the surface of the moon. Fire Nation Muay Village Uchiha Clan Land Nanny. The moon was pierced through. The debris from the moon alone is already huge. How terrifying would this blow be? You actually used your strongest move right at the start. Are you trying to catch Naruto off guard? Tonari looks a bit like Naruto's Nine Tails mode. On screen U9 Village chakra is filled to 90%. Muay Village behind Kakashi and the others. A ninja ran over. Hokage-sama, Mr. Hayashi has something important to report to you. Mr. Hayashi. Screen turn in the ward. Hayashi lying on the bed said weakly, "No, we must not destroy the moon. Hanabi and Hinata should both be on the moon." Kakashi asked hurriedly, "What's going on?" At this time, oh no, Kakashi turned to look at the assistant who came over and asked, "What's wrong?" "The nine-tailed fox is on the surface of the moon." "What?" "Lunar surface." The tailed beast ball condensed in the nine-tailed fox's mouth. Boom, the powerful force of the tailed beast ball shattered the stone statue of Hamura, but something happened that surprised Kyuubi. The body of the shattered stone statue of Hamura opposite was actually recovering. Soon, the stone statue of Hamura was restored to its original state. It roared to the sky, and countless meteorites fell from the sky and hit the nine-tailed fox. The nine-tailed fox used all four limbs to run, dodging left and right, approaching the stone statue of Hamura. U9 Village chakra is filled to 95% at this time. A ninja came running to report, "Lord Raikage." An urgent call from Lord Hokage. AI's tone was a little impatient. "Why choose this time?" Muay Village Kakashi said seriously, "Please don't fire the chakra cannon. Naruto and the others are on the moon." AI on the screen showed no expression. "I don't want to do that either. For the sake of the Earth, I have no choice but to ask them to sacrifice themselves." The space-time chakra cannon is about to be fired. Pure Land. A mocking arc appeared on the corner of Madara's mouth. Minato frowned deeply. "Ninja World, I guess this result when the Kumagakure chakra cannon started to fill up with chakra. Eliminate Naruto as well, assholes. Without Naruto, you would have become a cannon fodder army to defend against the Akatsuki clan, for the sake of the Earth? What a high-sounding excuse. I think you just want to take this opportunity to kill Naruto. Naruto has sacrificed himself. When the Akatsuki descend upon the ninja world in the future, you, the Kumagakure, will be the culprit in destroying the ninja world. Even if the moon is destroyed, Tonari will definitely not be killed. He has the truth-seeking ball. If Naruto is killed, then Sasuke will be left to resist Tonari, right? How dare you say that? Aren't you afraid that Sasuke will seek revenge on you, Kumagakure? Do you really think you can walk around the ninja world with just a chakra cannon? Naruto is still fighting with Tonari. How dare you say such outrageous words at this time? Fire Nation Muay Village Hokage building. Fugaku folded his arms and snorted, "I don't believe this guy has no selfish motives." Sarutobi Hirozen took a puff of his pipe and sighed whether the Raikage really wants to protect the Earth or wants to take the opportunity to get rid of Naruto. It is actually easy to understand from the Raikage's position as for the latter, although he did not approve of this approach. If he put himself in the position of the Raikage, it would indeed be easy to fall asleep at night because of fear. It feels like there is a docile tiger sleeping at your doorstep. This tiger can smash your door with just one tap of its paw. Then you can only bet that the reason why the tiger pounces on you is not because it is hungry, nor because it has eaten something wrong and has gone crazy, but because it simply wants to play leapfrog with you. We have to believe in the new era that Naruto has ushered in. The Raikage should really just want to protect the Earth. As the Kage, he naturally has to be responsible for all the villagers. On screen, Gaara at the bottom of the screen said, "Lord Raikage, what's wrong? I'm begging you to. Can you just wait for another hour?" Fire Nation Muay Village Naruto's house. Naruto murmured. Gaara, Jiraiya couldn't help but laugh and said, "This kid is pretty good. Let Raza bring him to Konoha if there's a chance. In the ninja world, there are very few people like Naruto and Gaara. The Kingdom of Thunder U9 Village. I can understand what Raikage-sama did, but it's really hard to support it. After all, Naruto is a hero who saved the ninja world. In fact, if Naruto really sacrificed himself, it would only be beneficial in the eyes of other big ninja villages. Hasn't what happened in the future proved it? We all know Naruto and know that he would never start a war on his own initiative, but didn't he still start one? Even though he was controlled by Wuming with an illusion. That's right. If Sasuke hadn't stopped him that time, what would have happened when he arrived at the battlefield? Chapter 532 The Golden Wheel Reincarnation Explodes. On screen what? AI frowned Madara who also said, I agree with this. Naruto is the hero of the previous war, so he should be worth our desperate effort. I looked at Inoki in the lower left corner again. Tsuchikage. Unoki was silent. Kakashi said seriously, it only takes 1 hour. This 1 hour is equivalent to several decades for the 5 of them. They will definitely be able to create a miracle during this time. AI asked, do you have any evidence? Based on my intuition. Moon Hinata, are you okay? Hinata stood up fine at this time. Boom, a piece of gravel hit the two of them, and smoke and dust rose. Don't want. Hearing Hinata's exclamation, Naruto waved his arms and the smoke and dust around him dispersed. Madara Tonari held Hinata's hair in his hands and looked down at Naruto. Hinata has returned to me. He used the Dao-seeking J to create an iron cage, turned to Hinata and said, just watch him die there. After saying that, Tonari threw Hinata into the iron cage. Naruto wants to rescue Hinata. Sharon formed a seal in mid-air using gravity. He manipulated the rubble to smash towards Naruto. Bang bang bang. In the smoke, a golden spiral shuriken flew towards Tonari at such a fast speed that it was in front of him in the blink of an eye, and the black and white bird under Tonari's feet was cut in half. Tonari retreated, and the Dao-seeking ball transformed into a shield to block the incoming spiral shuriken. After the recent shuriken's chakra completely disappeared, Tonari turned into a green light and rushed towards Naruto. Bang bang bang. Midair two figures, one gold and one green, collided with each other, and gravel flew everywhere they passed. Finally, the two figures separated. Tonari, who was floating in the air, said, the world created by the Sage of Six Paths has failed. The earth and you are about to end. As he spoke, the Dao-seeking jade in his hand began to spin at high speed. A golden planetary Rasengan also appeared in Naruto's hand. His figure flashed and rushed towards Sharon. Absolutely, I will never let the earth be destroyed. Boom. The two attacks collided. The other side, after dodging the rubble that was falling on it from the sky, the nine-tailed fox rammed the Hamura statue into the large pit behind it with its head. Fire Nation Muai Village. Naruto's house. Jiuwei couldn't help but curl his lips. The stone statue of the old man's brother is just like this. I can beat 3 of these stone statues. Hearing its words, Naruto suddenly felt heroic. He pointed with his little finger and said, Akatsuki Tonari, I can beat 3 of them too. Stop bragging, I don't believe it. On screen Moon Naruto condensed the Rasengan again. Spiral ball. Sharon also pressed down the green Tao-seeking jade in his hand. Boom, the ground beneath Naruto's feet collapsed. Taking this opportunity, Tonari retreated a distance and the green truth-seeking orbs floating around him shot towards Naruto. Below, one by one Naruto either dodged or blocked with a Rasengan in his hand, and the truth-seeking ball shot at him was quickly consumed. Seeing that this move could not cause any trouble to Naruto, Tonari opened his 5 fingers and the green truth-seeking ball in his hand turned into a golden lightsaber that stretched as far as the eye could see. At the same time, Naruto's figure also soared into the sky. Golden wheel reincarnation explodes. The golden lightsaber slashed down from above Naruto's head. Hinata in the cage screamed, Naruto! The golden lightsaber cut through the entire moon without any resistance, just like cutting tofu. On the way, it also passed by the stone statue of Hamura, who was suppressing the 9 tails. Seeing this scene, the entire ninja world seemed to be quiet for a moment. Then, the ninja world was in complete chaos. Somewhere in the ninja world, the guy carrying a big knife almost popped his eyes out. Fuck. Fire Nation Muai Village. Naruto's house. Jiraiya looked like he had seen a ghost. The first person in this family to react was actually Naruto. Hiss, how exaggerated. Hey, I think I saw a big fox being beaten just now. Kyuubi. Jiraiya took a deep breath and calmed himself down. I'm afraid I will never forget this scene in my life, but then again, the fact that you were able to survive this attack is the most outrageous thing. Hokage building. Fugaku swallowed and came back to his senses from his daze. Although I had expected it, it still seemed exaggerated when I saw it with my own eyes. Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes were also filled with surprise. After all, just hearing about it is not as shocking as seeing it with your own eyes. This is the first time I've heard the sound of the moon splitting apart. Shikoku wiped the sweat from his forehead. Look at the power of this lightsaber. It's possible that it can even cut the earth in half. Hyuga clan, it can even split the moon. Is this the power of the Samsara Eye? I thought I was under an illusion. Uchiha clan Landis is too exaggerated. Oh, can the Sharingan evolve into the Samsara Eye? Facts aside, is the Rinnegan weaker than the Samsaragan? Each has its own advantages and disadvantages. The Rinnegan has a very comprehensive ability, while the Samsaragan is a completely offensive eye. The Rinnegan is the eye of creation, and the Samsaragan is the eye of destruction. Even if you have eyes like that, you won't be better than Tonari. Tonari inherited Hamura's bloodline, unlike us, who only inherited the bloodline of our ancestor Indra. Fortunately, the ancestor was sealed in the space of the primordial ball. If it was still on the moon, I would be afraid that the seal would be broken by this sword. Rain Country Zio Organization Zianan was shocked. What? Split the moon directly in half. Country of Earth Iwagakurt Suchikaj building Deidara was shaking with excitement. This, he pointed at the screen. Abba. Unoki understood this traitor should be saying, art. This is art on screen. Muai village watching the moon split open a hole in it. What is that? The assistant exclaimed. The moon cracked. What? Several people looked shocked. Unine village AI put one hand on his waist and looked at the moon at this moment. What happened? He said to the screen. Naruto, 10 minutes left. Moon in the cage. Sharon looked down. Is it over? Hinata closed her eyes in despair. Next moment. It's not finished yet. Hinata was startled and suddenly opened her eyes. Then she saw countless Naruto clones leaping out from the cut in the moon. What? Seeing this scene, Sharon couldn't believe it. A group of Naruto's shadow clones holding Rasengan rushed towards Tonari. The black truth-seeking jades around Sharon transformed into countless green truth-seeking jades and shot towards the shadow clone. Bang 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 bang. But even so, there were still many shadow clones approaching him. Super large jade spiral multi-run pill. Seeing this, Sharon transformed the green Tao seeking jade into a black round shield and protected himself with it. Boom. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 533. You are even more unbelievable. Seeing that he successfully blocked Naruto's attack, Tonari breathed a sigh of relief, but the next moment, Naruto broke out of the ground and punched him in the chin. When Sharon tilted his head back, he seemed to realize something. He looked down and saw that Naruto was holding a golden Rasengan in his hand. Boom. Sharon crossed his arms to protect his head, and slid back 100 meters before he finally stopped. The Rasengan exploded behind him, and Tonari lowered his slightly bruised arm, and the green truth-seeking orb gathered around him. It's useless. Just give up. Opposite him, Naruto pulled out a ruined red cloth and held it in his palm. I won't give up. It takes a lot of time to knit a scarf. If the feelings cannot be conveyed, the scarf will become longer and longer, and there will be no end. After saying that, Naruto rushed towards Tonari. The Dao-seeking jade surrounding the Sharon opposite him turned into green light and melted into his palm. Use this method to end everything. Tonari pointed his palm at Naruto, and a golden lightsaber leaped out of his palm and stabbed towards Naruto at an extremely fast speed. Naruto ran forward and gathered the Nine Tails chakra in his left arm. He punched the tip of the sword and continued to rush towards Tonari with unstoppable force. I won't let you succeed. It is not easy to convey your feelings. It takes a very long time. After shouting this, Naruto, who had been carrying the golden lightsaber all the way, finally rushed in front of Tonari, and the source of the golden wheel reincarnation explosion was dispersed by his fist covered with the Nine Tails chakra. Only then can you speak out bravely. Naruto gathered the Nine Tails chakra into his right arm. So, how can I let you end it so easily? Boom. Naruto punched Tonari in the face. Boom. 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 The ground with Sharon as the center collapsed, and Sharon's figure flew backwards with a loud bang. Sharon's body finally hit the rock wall hard. Somewhere in the ninja world, Boruto's eyes were filled with shock. His voice was trembling with excitement. Dad actually blocked the blow that split the moon with his bare hands. Future Sasuke calmed his disordered breathing and had a complicated expression. The golden wheel reincarnation explodes. If it were him, would he be able to stop it? He didn't have the confidence that he could do it. Fire Nation Muai Village, Naruto's house. Jiraiya was stunned. I thought that Sharon splitting the moon just now was outrageous enough. But I didn't expect you to be even more outrageous. Not to mention him, even Naruto himself found it a little unbelievable. Uchiha clan land mansion. Uchiha Guang bent down and picked up the doll that had just fallen to the ground. Country of Earth Iwagakure Deidara pointed at Naruto and said with trembling lips, He, Anoki said in a dark tone. He blocked the art in your eyes with his bare hands. Ryongchi Cave Orochimaru licked the corner of his lips with his tongue and didn't retract it for a long time. Pure Land Izuna looked horrified. You blocked it with your hands. Kushina scratched her head frantically. Damn it. He's obviously dead, but why is his scalp so itchy? Ninja world, even the most stable person would be stunned when seeing this scene, real or fake. This is the golden wheel tensei explosion that can split the moon in half. No. You're not the one who fell and hurt his back. You must have been impersonated by someone else. Hissed Naruto's punch. You're a little too outrageous. How can you be so good? I know you are a miracle worker, but Tonari is not very proficient in controlling the Samsara, and his combat experience is far inferior to Naruto. He has no chance of winning. On screen, one punch actually gave me. He was suddenly startled and rolled his eyes upwards as if he wanted to see something. My Samsara disappeared. Finally, his eyes turned into a pair of white eyes. Lunar surface. Bang! Bang! The stone statue of Hamura, who was beating the nine tails under his body, suddenly stopped moving after raising his fist. The nine-tailed fox, who had originally closed his eyes and was waiting for the punch to fall, was now stunned. Moon. The cage that trapped Hinata slowly disappeared. Naruto and Hinata ran towards each other at the same time. Naruto. When they got closer, they stared at each other for a moment, then turned to look at Sharon. Hinata walked up to Tonari, who was embedded in the rock wall. I want you to return Hanabi's eyes, Hinata said as she stretched out her hand towards Tonari's eyes without any hesitation. No, don't. Sharon let out a shrill scream. Hateful. Naruto also walked over here. Sharon, everything is over. Unexpectedly, Sharon opened his dark eyes. Not yet inside the temple. Countless white eyes lit up with purple light. Ninja world. I was startled when I opened my eyes. No way. Sharon has a backup plan. Could it be that the Samsara eye is being reintegrated? Hinata was very decisive this time. I knew it. Sigh. My heart is finally at peace. People with the last name Akatsuki are really hard to deal with. Does it take a complete defeat by Naruto for me to wake up? On screen, Sonya and Shikamaru found Sakura on the big white bird. Sakura, are you okay? Sakura asked. Where are Naruto and the others? Unclear at this moment. A long purple light flew over the heads of the three people. Moon. Naruto also saw this spectacular sight. What the hell? What's going on? Ha 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 ha. A suppressed, evil laugh came out of Shi's mouth. All he saw were those white eyes floating over him, covering him. He looked extremely hideous and terrifying at this moment. Use these eyes turned everything puppet reincarnation. Lunar surface. The Hamura statue, which had stopped, punched Kyuubi in the face. Kyuubi was completely furious. It opened its mouth, and the tailed beast ball gathered in its mouth. Are you annoying? Boom! The stone statue of Hamura was directly knocked away by the tailed beast ball. Ninja world. I was amused by the Kyuubi. Kyuubi, what have you been doing so far? How many punches have you taken? It seems that this happened in just a split second. So fast that Kyuubi didn't even have time to get up. If it weren't for the screen, I might not have been able to see their movements clearly at all. Sharon looks so scary right now, with white eyeballs all over his body. Really? How can he sacrifice his looks for power? On screen, Moon. When Shikamaru and the other two arrived here, they saw Naruto and Hinata standing in front of Tonari. The three of them ran towards Naruto and Hinata. Naruto, Hinata. Unexpectedly, Naruto stretched out his hand and signaled them not to go any further. Sharon, stop struggling. You are just following the wrong teachings of your ancestors. Sharon roared. Shut up. As the last descendant of the Akatsuki clan, I must make Hamura's destiny come to fruition. After he roared, a green jade appeared in Sharon's hand. At this moment, the golden chakra on Naruto's body suddenly dissipated, and he knelt on the ground. Hinata said worriedly, Naruto? Naruto supported himself on the ground with his hands, his brows furrowed. The chakra in my body has been sucked away. Chapter 534. It's finally over. The man opposite laughed again. Ho ha ho ha. Let me show you Hamura's power, which is enough to move the moon. Naruto, that's enough. Naruto's expression was extremely uncomfortable as his chakra was sucked away, but at this time, Hinata put her hand on the back of his hand. Hinata closed her eyes and mobilized her chakra. Naruto realized that his chakra was no longer being sucked away, so he held Hinata's hand with his backhand. Soon, the Sage Fox mode was activated again in Naruto. Seeing this scene, Sharon was stunned. What? Naruto said calmly. Sharon, it's not over yet. Why? Hinata answered Tonari's question. Because I also have Hamura's chakra in my body. Ninja world. So Hamura gave Hinata chakra, although it doesn't seem to be of much use. I wonder if Tonari will become stronger. If he continues to fight like before, it won't affect the ninja world, right? It looks like Sasuke isn't coming. On screen, Naruto said to Sharon in a deep voice, stop struggling. Hearing Naruto's words, Tonari became even angrier. Totally destroy the world of the Six Paths Sage. Tonari roared with a ferocious look on his face, and raised the green glowing truth-seeking jade high in his hand. The world of the six-path sage has fallen into darkness. It will be completely destroyed by the light of justice. Just as he finished speaking, something unexpected happened. The ground beneath Sharon's feet collapsed, an unknown object emerged, and he flew towards the distant sun. As they got closer to the sun, the dense white eyes on Sharon's body began to melt. Sharon wailed in pain. Moon, oh my god, what happened to him? Shikamaru frowned and told Sakura his guess. That guy's technique absorbed the energy of the sun and has exceeded the capacity limit of chakra. Naruto looked at Tonari, who was screaming in the distance. His eyes became firm, as if he had made some kind of decision. SHH. Hinata looked at the figure that flashed by her and said anxiously, Naruto? Shikamaru was also startled, and shouted to Naruto anxiously, don't go over there. It will be dangerous. Naruto's figure was getting closer and closer to Tonari. When he reached below Sharon, he stretched out his hand. Sharon also stretched out his hand. Pure Land. The corner of Madara's mouth twitched. This guy, Ryongshike Orochimaru, looked helpless, as expected of a disciple taught by that idiot. Ichikajima chuckled. If it was Naruto who did something like this, there would be nothing strange about it. Somewhere in the ninja world, the man carrying the beheading sword exclaimed, oh shit, and couldn't help but sigh. Now I know why Tonari praised Naruto so much in front of Boruto, even though they are clearly rivals in love. If it were me, I would definitely leave Sharon to die without saving him. Scorpion said calmly, the facts have been proven. If it weren't for Naruto's actions at this moment, Tonari would not help the ninja world in the future. I thought you would be very uncomfortable with this behavior. Ninja world. For Tonari, who is now in despair, the real son has become Naruto. The crisis in the ninja world ends here. The reason I am so sure is because I know that Tonari is not a bad person. He is just deceived. I don't think Tonari will like Hinata anymore. I'm afraid that the person he likes will become Naruto. On screen, U9 Village. Time's up. Space-time chakra cannon. Fire. After giving the order, AI waited for a moment, and seeing that the chakra cannon had not been fired, he looked at Karabi, who was sitting on the turret. What's wrong? I have no choice but to shoot at Naruto. Don't let your emotions get in the way. This is a matter of life and death for the Earth. AI walked over to Karabi. Get out of the way, I'll fire. At this moment, a report from the hidden cloud ninja suddenly came from behind him. Lord Rakage. There are words on the moon. Hearing this, AI turned around and said, what did you say? It was Kurako who rode on the moon's surface. What? The Kumagakure ninja used the equipment to see the words on the moon clearly. That means, Muai Village. The assistant who also saw the word turned around. Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. That's it. Kakashi breathed a sigh of relief and looked at the hour hand on his palm. The last stopped again. Fire Nation. Muai Village. Uchiha Clan Land Mansion. Uchiha Guang rubbed the doll's head with his thumb. This result is very good. Ninja world. They can even see the words on the moon. How can they see so far? I didn't see a telescope. Could it be a perception jutsu? Phew. It's finally over. Although the fight between Naruto and Tonari was very exciting to watch, the things that happened before were too depressing. Why do I feel that? The reason why Tonari helps the Earth in the future is not because he is deceived or because he has liked Hinata, but simply because of Naruto. On screen, urgent notification to the world. The moon has stopped moving. Earth, the future of the Earth. It was protected by the power of 5 ninjas, Shikamaru, Sakura, Sai, Hinata, and Naruto. Fire Nation. Muai Village. Kakashi looked at the full moon in the sky. My intuition, it came true with good results. Lunar surface. Kyuubi held a sharp stone in his hand and carved words on the ground. They actually asked me to write. I am the worst at writing. Naruto smiled embarrassedly and said, sorry, Kurama. Next scene, several people jumped into the spring. Ninja World. PFFT. Kyuubi's worried expression is such a stark contrast. Among the 9-tailed beasts, the strongest is the 9-tailed beast. The most arrogant and the cutest is also the 9-tailed beast. This word is indeed a bit ugly. It must be that you are holding the pen incorrectly. Jiu Lama, I envy Naruto so much. He makes me want to keep a vixen outside. It's time to go back to Earth. There are so many green bubbles in the spring water, so this place should have nothing to do with the Samsara. Right. On screen in Hinata's memories, this is Hinata beside Tonari explained. It was Hamira's spirit that led me to this place. Sensing the countless graves before him, Sharon collapsed to the ground. Sharon. The people of Earth will accept you. Sharon lowered his head and whispered, I want to stay on the moon and atone for my sins. After saying that, he turned and walked into the cave. Sharon, I hope to meet you on Earth in the future. Hearing Hinata's voice, Tonari stopped and turned to say to the others, "From now on, the moon will never come close to the earth again, never. This is the memory on a stone ball." Hinata looked at Naruto in front of her and asked in a low voice, "Naruto, there is something I really want to know. What's up? Who gave you the scarf you're wearing recently?" Pure Land Kushina sighed, "If I had known, I would have prepared other gifts for Naruto. It seems that there is nothing left to show for it." Muttering something, she thought about it carefully. "Frying pan, apron, a test paper you once failed. Forget it, let's just go with a scarf." Chapter 535 Pulling the Red Line. Naruto took out his blue scarf. "This one, my late mother knitted this for me before I was born. In memory, this scarf is left with my grandfather." After listening to Konohamaru's explanation, Naruto, holding the scarf in his hand, had tears in his eyes. "Mother, memories to this point, is that so? I think too much." As soon as Hinata finished speaking, Hanabi's voice came from not far away. "Sister, I really can't stand you. How long are we going to talk? We're leaving first, hurry up. The space is starting to collapse." After saying this, Shikamaru left first. Seeing them leave, Naruto said to Hinata, "Let's go back to Earth together." As he spoke, he carefully stretched out his hand. Hinata also stretched out her hand and shook it. Ninja World Disc. This handshake gesture, happy cooperation. It turns out that this scarf was left by Kushina for Naruto. No wonder Naruto treasures it so much. How cute. Hanabi talks like a spoiled child. Since it is Kushina's relic, why didn't the third Hokage give it to Naruto earlier? On screen, Hinata asked in confusion, "What happened? When the teacher asked us in class who we wanted to be with when the world ended, I didn't write anyone's name. I don't know who my parents are, and I don't have any friends, but now it's different. I want to be with you. From now on, we will never be apart. I want to be with you until I die, Naruto." Hinata's eyes welled with tears as Naruto said these words. The two held hands and passed by countless green bubbles. On these green bubbles, images of Naruto and Hinata growing up appeared. The space behind them collapsed, and the two ran forward hand in hand. The collapsing space was getting closer and closer to the two of them. As Naruto jumped forward, he took Hinata into his arms. Naruto looked down at Hinata. "Hinata, hold me tight." Hinata was stunned for a moment, then hugged Naruto's neck somewhat awkwardly. "Don't let go, it is good." Hinata rested her head on Naruto's chest. "I will never let go." Naruto pointed his hand downward and a Rasengan condensed in his palm. Hinata asked in confusion, "What to do?" "Call out." The two figures turned into a stream of light. Soon, the two rushed out of the spring, and their speed did not slow down as they continued to rush upwards. Hanabi on the shore raised her head. Elder sister, Shikamaru beside her, shouted to the two of them, "Naruto, don't go too high or you'll hit your head." Naruto's mouth curled up. "How could we be trapped here?" There was a boom. Naruto, holding Hinata, broke through the ground and came into the air. The sky was filled with bright white light under the moonlight. "This scene looks like a beautiful painting." The two stopped and looked at each other affectionately. "Hinata, Naruto." Naruto held Hinata's face and Hinata closed her eyes. Naruto slowly lowered his head and they kissed passionately. At this point, the screen went black. Somewhere in the ninja world, Boruto covered his eyes with his hands. Ninja world, how romantic. Seeing this makes me want to kiss Naruto under the moon. I'm curious, are the words Naruto just said as corny as the true words he said while unconscious? Hinata finally waited for the day when Naruto learned to love someone. I really envy Naruto for having a wife who is both gentle and powerful. I wonder when I can find a wife who won't float up when she takes a bath. Near Raichi Cave, Kakashi scratched his head. "Well, I haven't had dinner yet, but I don't feel hungry at all." "How strange." Blue Star. After Qiu Li took the takeaway, she put it and the box into the refrigerator without even looking at what was inside. As a person who is relying on the power of faith to condense his godhood, he must spend all his savings before leaving this world. Yes, Dabe had told him everything because his physical changes were so obvious. It was very difficult not to notice the abnormality, so he planned to eat something he liked for dinner today. Qiu Li used her cell phone to dial a number she hadn't called for a long time. The call is connected on the other end of the phone. The voice of the receptionist came from the receiver. "Hello, would you like to order food?" "Yes, I want 2 burgers, 2 chicken rolls, 4 servings of French fries, and 2 servings of chicken fillets." After talking for about half a minute, Qiu Li finally finished ordering. The lady at the front desk said, "Sir, this is what I mean. We have set meals and family buckets." "I know, that's all I know." The lady at the front desk, after giving the other party his home address, Qiu Li opened the audiobook app he had been using and randomly clicked on a completed fan short story, Divine Space. Hearing the familiar voice coming from the screen, Obito's expression changed. "You still put this kind of thing?" Ninja World. Ouch, another adapted story. I want to see what happens next with Sister Aoi. I look forward to Ziofan's reappearance. He is the only masterpiece in my heart. Come, let me see who is the lucky one this time. I hope the protagonist is still a girl, and a girl from another world. People from other worlds talk the most interestingly. Please let me meet Madara-sama who likes women in my lifetime. Please, country of Earth Iwagakure building. Dieter muttered, I still want to hear Obito's story. This guy was stupid when he was a kid. There is no one more suitable to be pranked than him. Pure. Landban suddenly became interested. The last attack on Obito left a deep impression on him on screen. Warring States. Uchiha Clan landing. The red line system has been successfully bound. Pure Land. Madara frowned slightly. Warring States. Pulling the red string? Is that the red string I'm thinking of? Who is it for? The protagonist of the story is still the Uchiha clan. He had a bad feeling in his heart. Humph. Instead of showing such boring stuff, it's better to watch what will happen in the future. Izune suddenly thought of a possibility. This time, the story is not directed at Big Brother, right? Tobirama crossed his arms. If it's a spoof of Madara, it's really exciting. Danzo was speechless. Can you be more realistic? In the Warring States. The red thread is tied together. It's like a joke. Near Raichi Cave. Kakashi rubbed his chin. My intuition tells me that the target of this prank is most likely Mata. Divine Space. Obito breathed a sigh of relief. Warring States, then it'll be fine. Country of Earth Iwagakure building. Then it must be you. Uchiha Obito from the Warring States. Hearing this, Anoki's mouth twitched. Fire Nation Muai Village. Jiraiya fell into deep thought. This time, the story is about an Uchiha from the Warring States. Who is a matchmaker for someone. Chapter 536. Red Line Object. On screen in a forest behind the mountain, Madara, who was only 7 years old, was sitting cross-legged on the ground refining his chakra. He was suddenly awakened when he heard an electronic sound suddenly ringing in his mind. Who? Sitoku. Senju Sitoku. How could he sneak into the Uchiha clan territory without anyone noticing? Come out. His shouting immediately alarmed the adults in the tribe. The voice in Madara's mind sounded again. System, Ling. The full name of the system is, the Myriad Worlds Red Thread System. Please choose the person you want to bind to your red line with. After you get married, the system will reward you with a wedding gift. This wedding gift, complete the bloodline of Akatsuki Haguramo. Note, after obtaining the complete bloodline of the Six-Path Sage, there is a 100% chance that you can open the Samsara Eye with your own bloodline. Newbie gift pack, strengthen the Sharingan. When the system finished speaking, Madara felt his eyes getting hot. When I opened my eyes again, the world in front of me seemed to become clear. This is, Madara said incredulously, Sharingan? I opened the Sharingan. Pure Land. Hashirama looked stunned. The system is actually bound to Madara, but the thought of Madara getting married is quite exciting. Tobirama clapped his hands symbolically and praised, what a great senjutsubo. Madara accepted his fate. It really has something to do with me. The first two stories are all very disturbing. It seems that he can't escape this disaster. Keep a normal mind. With my tolerance, I won't be affected by such a small prank. Fire Nation Muai Village. Naruto's house. Jiraiya scratched his head. So it's the system that helps the host tie the knot? I thought it was the bound host that helped others tie the knot. Ninja World. As expected of you, Master Madara. You're working so hard at the age of 7, can you still choose a red line person? I have a very bold candidate. The reward is quite generous. It completes the bloodline of the Six-Path Sage, which is purer than the bloodline of our ancestor Indra. After choosing a red line target, don't you still need to conquer the other party? There doesn't seem to be anyone suitable during the Warring States. Right? No. Not just during the Warring States. Even if I look at the entire ninja world, I can't think of anyone who is suitable to marry Madara-sama. On screen, faced with a tribesman who came and saw his confused eyes, Madara chose not to tell them about the system. His brain worked quickly and he soon came up with an excuse. I accidentally fell asleep while practicing just now, and dreamed that a member of the Thousand Hands tribe sneaked into the tribe and wanted to kill me, and then it became like this. All the clan members looked at the Sharingan in Madara's eyes with disbelief on their faces. Actually opened the Sharingan, as expected of the clan leader's son. Quick! This news must be reported to the clan leader as soon as possible. Late night, after dealing with his father and tribesmen, Madara returned to his room. Thin Barrel, Ben whispered, are you still there? Zidane, System, Ling. Host, I'm here. Hearing the system's reply, Ban breathed a sigh of relief. As long as you're still here, the facts are before our eyes. He has already gained the benefits. Then what? The system said that by completing the bloodline of the six-path sage, one can rely on oneself to awaken those eyes, is naturally very likely to be true. How can I get the final reward and complete the bloodline of the six-path sage? Can I just find someone to marry later? System, the red line target must be a descendant of Akatsuki Haguramo. The system will provide the qualified candidates. The host can select the target to bind from the information provided by the system. The next moment, a projection appeared in front of Madara's eyes. What is this? It's amazing. In the projection, the figure of a middle-aged man with a serious face emerged. The first red line target, Kaian Shao Buddha, identity, chief of the Senju clan, ninja. Madara fell silent as he looked at the man in red armor in front of him. Pure Land Kushina couldn't help herself. PFFT, sorry, it's rude, but, poof, thousand-hand Buddha room. Senju Tobirama's usually serious expression was broken at this moment. People from another world. Don't be so outrageous. Everyone in Hashirama was dumbfounded. Wait? Why do I suddenly not understand? You mean, if Madara marries my father, he can obtain the complete bloodline of the Sage of Six Paths? Is that so? At this moment, Hashirama's three views were severely impacted. Izuna was stunned. Can you still play like this? Is it intentional? Spot. He took a deep breath, but couldn't help laughing. You people from another world have such brains. He would never be able to come up with such a cool move in his entire life. Let him marry the patriarch of the Senju clan, his father's mortal enemy, a man, an old man. How did you come up with it? Fire Nation Muai Village Hokage Building. Saratobi Hiruzen's face was sullen. Shikaku looked at him, and his nostrils widened. Hold back, that's the father of the first generation. Naruto's house sealed space. Kyuubi slapped his thigh with laughter. Ha ha ha. I agree to this marriage. Ninja world so explosive. Between the lines, I can smell the scent of Sister Aoi. Put on your women's clothes again. Mata. You are the most beautiful. QQQQ. It's over. I already have images of Madara and Senju Batsuma's wedding photo in my mind. Why Furuma? Even Hashirama would be fine. If that doesn't work, Tobirama would be fine. If it's Furuma, the age difference is too big. Don't you say you can choose? There should be other options. I'm afraid that the young Madara is ignorant and will directly bind to the Buddha. I hope it won't cause any harm to you, Mata. Somewhere in the ninja world future Sasuke choked. This, obviously, he didn't expect it to be the thousand-handed Buddha. No, wrong. He never expected that there would be a thousand-handed Buddha room among the options. Boruto was shocked. Can this still happen? On screen Ban Fen was in a mess for a while, and then he said hesitantly, System, are there other options? System, Ling. The second red line target, Senju Hashirama, identity, the eldest son of Senju Fujen, the reincarnation of Ajuro, and a ninja. Fire Nation Muai Village. Naruto's house held space. Jiuwei said excitedly. I also agree to this marriage. Why not marry them together? Ninja world. Even information about past lives. Masuka. The system actually has the same taste as me. I won't reject it this time. We are brothers. Stop making trouble. Pure Land. Hashirama tilted his head. Huh? Ban's face turned black. This is not humorous. A third worlder. Can you give me a reliable choice? Huh? Stay calm. Stay calm. On screen Ban looked at the little melon-headed boy in the projection with a somewhat stiff expression. What is the reincarnation of Ajuro? Forget it. This is not important. That, a thin barrel. Are there any girls? Chapter 537, Green Bamboo. Ling. Host selection in progress. The next moment, the sound of turning pages of paper rang in Madara's mind. Soon, the information was turned to the next page. System, Ling. The third red line target, Uzumaki Mido. Pure Land. Tobirama's expression changed. Hashirama was still mumbling about being called a melon-headed person, and didn't pay any attention to what the system had just said. My hair is black, and the colors are all different. As he spoke, Hashirama suddenly fell into depression. Okay, it's just a different color, but it does look like melon rind. Izuna breathed a sigh of relief. It's fine as long as she's a woman. Who cares? She's better than a man anyway. Madara shook his head slowly. I have a feeling she won't be chosen in the end, because then the story wouldn't be interesting. What's the point of what happened between him and Hashirama's wife? In his eyes, only a pervert would like such a story. So, who could it be? Fire Nation Muai Village held space. See another enemy appear. Kyuubi slapped his thigh heavily. You should marry Madara along with Hashirama. Naruto, the big fox is so resentful. On screen Madara took a closer look at Mido's delicate little face. Finally, There is a normal one, it's quite beautiful. Unfortunately, it's a whirlpool. I wonder if there are girls from other families besides Senjo and Uzumaki, Xiaotong. After I finish reading the rest, can I turn back? System, okay, but once the host binds the red line object, it cannot be cancelled. When the mission succeeds or fails completely, the red line will be automatically untied. Ling. The fourth red line target, Qian Shaokingzhu, a girl in a black kimono, appeared on the projection. Pure Land, a question mark appeared on Hashirame's forehead. Who is this? Thousand-handed green bamboo. I've never heard of this name. Tobirama narrowed his eyes. If things go as expected, she should be the heroine. My last name is Senju. I hope that I won't turn my elbow outward just because I fall in love with Madara. Otherwise, even if he knew it was fake, his blood pressure would soar. Izuna was helpless. Brother, it seems that the people from another world have already chosen a sister-in-law for me. Ninja World black kimono? Did you just attend a funeral? But the description of this outfit gives me a very cold and mysterious feeling. Thousand-handed green bamboo has never appeared on the screen. Is he just a minor character? Will Madara pursue a target for binding? Or will he force a marriage directly when he becomes strong enough? I really can't imagine what it would be like if Madara married someone. In the end, the heroine must fall in love with Madara first, and must marry no one else but him, and then they will get married naturally. But the next moment, the identity of Qian Shaokingzhu is revealed on the screen. Identity: Senju Buddha's sister-in-law, ninja, and reborn from the end of the world. Ninja World, the sister-in-law of the Senju clan leader. Doesn't that mean she is the aunt of Hashirama and Tobirama, the reborn? Another reborn. It seems that she is the heroine. What kind of personality will she have? Let Madara-sama pick up the aunts of Hashirama and Tobirama? That's too exciting. A person of your status as an aunt must be much older than Madara-sama, right? Pure Land. Tobirama's chest rose and fell violently. What do you mean? What does it mean to be the heroine? Shouldn't it be a spoof of Madara? This spoof story about Madara is not very friendly to him. Izuna's eyes lit up. Although she is 1,000 hands, I recognize this sister-in-law. If my eldest brother married Senju Tobirama's aunt, would that mean he would also become Senju Tobirama's elder brother? Older people are good at taking care of people. Really? Madara sneezed. He rubbed his nose and said, if there is a choice, let's change it. He had no intention of becoming Hashirama's uncle. But, the heroine this time is also not simple. The end of the world as he understood it is a world that has entered the countdown to destruction. In a world like that, you don't have to think about how difficult it is to survive, especially human nature. Perhaps even he could not imagine it. People who survive in that environment, what simple character would it be? On screen Madara was stunned because this name was not unfamiliar to him. Thousand-handed green bamboo? So this is what she looks like. She doesn't look that old, but the masters in the clan are so afraid of her. On the battlefield, many clan members were seriously injured by her, making them unable to become ninjas anymore. But few of her tribesmen died at her hands at first. The tribesmen thought she was capable, but too soft-hearted. But not long after, many conflicts broke out within the tribe. On the battlefield, her father tried many times to find an opportunity to kill her, but was stopped by Thousand-handed Buddha and was not given a single chance. Her father's evaluation of her was that this person would definitely become a major threat to the Uchiha clan in the future. Pure Land. Minato mused, it's really not simple. After thinking for a moment, Madara took a breath. Hiss, what a vicious woman. They only disabled him but didn't kill him. I'm afraid they did this on purpose. The purpose is to make the Uchiha raise a bunch of useless people who can't do anything. Uchiha Tajima frowned. Just look at the Uchiha clan's attitude towards Uchiha Hikaru, and you'll know how much the Uchiha clan values the honor of their family. The tribesmen have become useless, especially when they still need someone to take care of them. Over time, this will inevitably cause dissatisfaction among other tribesmen, who may even think that they might as well have died on the battlefield. If this had really happened, the trouble would have been a minor matter. I'm afraid that more of my tribesmen will experience this kind of thing, and it will cause alienation in their hearts. What a conspiracy! If there really is such a daughter-in-law, it's quite interesting. Although he was 1,000 hands, he was still very satisfied with the opponent's strength and mentality. Ninja World. I don't understand, but it looks amazing. This time the heroine is not a pushover either. She is indeed a soul from the end of the world. Hurry up and show the heroine. I'm very curious about what kind of person she is in private, and how she gets along with her two nephews. It would be fun if the heroine this time was even more domineering than Madara-sama. On screen Madara asked in confusion, Zidane, what does it mean to be reborn in the last days? System, Ling. Host, please watch the VCR. The next moment, the girl projected in front of Madara's eyes was replaced by a devastated scene. The sky was overcast, dried blood was seen everywhere on the ground, and there were many rusty and scrapped cars on both sides of the street. A dried corpse happened to pass by the entrance of the once bustling shopping mall. The mummy was limping slowly as it walked, and with every step, streams of thick red and white liquid flowed out of its torn stomach. After the liquid fell to the ground, you could vaguely see the white maggots wriggling inside Fire Nation Muai Village Naruto's house. Naruto's face turned pale. The mummy is so pitiful. There are worms in its stomach. Nine-tailed fox, Jiraiya. ? Kyuubi's expression was indescribable. As expected of you, Jiraiya. Constipated face. Even if you are Naruto, you can't be so rebellious, right? Chapter 538. The End of the World. Uchiha Clan Land Mansion. Uchiha's pupils trembled, and the fingers holding the doll gradually turned white. Mummy, if it's a corpse, shouldn't it be dead? Why can it still walk? If I were in that world, living in the same world with such a horrible thing, she didn't dare to think about it anymore. Hokage building. Sarutobi Hirozen held the pipe close to his lips for a long time without moving. Is this the end of the world? Is there really such a world? Shikoku rubbed the goosebumps on his arms. In a world like this, even for a ninja, it would be difficult to survive. I suddenly have some respect for the heroine this time. By the way, what is a car? Since it is an object on the street, it should be useful. Inflatable carriage. Sarutobi Hirozen thought for a moment. An inflatable carriage. The corner of Fugaku's mouth twitched. I really can't imagine what use an inflatable carriage could have. Somewhere in the ninja world. Baiju's little face turned pale. Also, there are still maggots? How scary. On screen, seeing all this with his own eyes, the 7-year-old man was so frightened by the mummy in the projection that his whole body froze. Is this the world that Kai and Shao Kingzu once lived in? Projecting next scene. A man holding a submachine gun was knocked down by a zombie falling from the roof. The man's shrill screams attracted more zombies. Next scene. On the street, the zombie who was still staggering a second ago suddenly turned around, opened his mouth wide and roared, then rushed over. His speed was so fast that the adult male who was discovered was caught up in just a moment. Next scene. The zombie smelled the human scent and climbed up the wall to the top floor. Ninja world. There were mummies in front, and now there are zombies. Could the one in front have dried up from hunger because he hadn't eaten for too long? The world the heroine lives in is too scary. If I were chased by this thing, I could run faster than a dog. If there is such a thing in the ninja world, I won't dare to go out. Even if I stay at home all the time, I won't dare to sleep at night. This world is too hopeless. For the first time, I feel that living in the ninja world is a very happy thing. I can't even imagine how a woman can survive in such a world, and how miserable the heroine's experience must be. Pure Land. A wicked smile appeared onto Birama's lips. Little Madara, seeing all this with your own eyes, won't be so scared that you'll pee your pants, right? Izuna sighed in a pretentious manner. It's too miserable to live in such a world. Send you to Birama. You are such a troublesome guy. Be nicer to my sister-in-law in the future. Otherwise I will definitely teach you a lesson as an elder. Fire Nation Muai Village. Naruto's house. Jiraiya wiped the sweat from his forehead. Compared to facing these zombies, the Akatsuki who will destroy the ninja world in the future have become adorable in my eyes. On screen. After witnessing the scene, Ben was sweating all over, especially the zombie. Looking back just now, he subconsciously wanted to run, but his legs felt like they were filled with lead and he couldn't move. After watching this scene, Ben quickly said, Zidane, I don't want to know about the end of the world anymore. Can you let me know about Kai and Shao Kingzu? Even if you don't mind this woman, it's best to have some understanding of her system, Ling. Okay, host. Projecting next scene. There was a bang gunshot. A slowly walking zombie fell to the ground. A woman in her 20s wearing camouflage clothes walked up to the zombie, squatted down, and stretched out her hand. See this scene. Ben received a strong visual impact. What is this woman doing? What is she digging in the zombie's head with her hands? Hashi, somewhere in the ninja world. Fuck, what did Madara say? Biwajuzo's eyes almost popped out of his head. Just like that, digging things out of a zombie's head with your bare hands. How can you do this? Ninja world. It makes me feel sick just listening to it. There are treasures in the zombies' heads. Even a rough guy like me who likes to pick his feet can't do it. 27 or 28. No matter how old she looks, mentally, she is already of Aunt Madara's generation. I used to call every auntie sister no matter how old she was. Now, I have no worries about food and clothing for the rest of my life, and I have a son who is 2 years older than me. A gun again? How can a gun make a sound? Isn't it astounding? On screen next scene densely packed and endless zombies are chasing several off-road vehicles that are traveling at high speed. Suddenly, two loud noises were heard from the zombie group. Countless zombies were blown into the sky. Screen turn. The tall young man stretched out his hand. Thanks to you today, Captain Zhang. The woman called Captain Zhang held the other's hand. You're welcome, Captain Li. We are all brothers from the same base. Besides, even if there is no help from Team 1, with Captain Li's ability, he can still lead the team members to escape. That would be very troublesome. I still have to thank you. If you need me in the future, Captain Zhang, just let me know. A bright smile appeared on the woman's face. It settled and the smile dazzled the young man. Certainly. What if I want the medicines that your 3 teams collected during this trip? The young man lowered his eyes and glanced at the red dot on his heart, and the smile on his face faded a little. Captain Zhang, this request is a bit too much. Also, you don't think this little toy can keep me here, right? The woman smiled and asked back, Captain Li, you don't think I can't keep you, do you? Fire Nation Muai Village Naruto's house. Jiraiya swallowed. These people from another world, can you change your face just like that? Ninja world. We are all brothers from the same base. I seem to hear Kai and Shao Kingzu saying, I'm going to get down to business after exchanging a few polite words with you. I thought he was trying to help out, but it turned out he was planning to rob from the beginning. Isn't this a smiling face with a dagger hidden behind it? The last sentence is a bit domineering, isn't it? The image of Madara dressed as a woman appeared in my mind. Isn't Senju Aotake afraid of being hated by others? She ended up in the ninja world during the Warring States period. It must be because she offended too many people and was retaliated against, right? On screen turn. The war is about to start. It ended quickly again before the members of Team 3 could react. They were shot and killed by members of Team 1 who had planned it in advance. The young captain's face turned purple and he fell to the ground. Holding his crotch, the woman pointed the gun at his head. I gave you a chance, but you didn't know how to appreciate it, you stinky bitch. Boom. The woman did not give the other party a chance to insult her and pulled the trigger decisively. It seems that if you are 1 second slower, you will suffer a great loss. Madara subconsciously squeezed his legs together inward. This woman, her moves, her kicks are too ruthless. Chapter 539. Which one is the Kingzu hand? Pure landspot, humph. With my tolerance, I don't care about such slander at all. After saying that, Madara closed his eyes and began to rest, looking like he didn't care at all what others said about him. The corner of Izuna's mouth twitched. Unacceptable. How can you arrange this for Big Brother? Even if he's only 7 years old, there's no way he'd be scared to the point of turning his legs pigeon-toed. Hoshirama laughed out loud. To Birama thought about it, although I can imagine it, I still want to see how you actually do it. Never mind. It's more interesting to imagine it yourself. Not only can I imagine you at the age of 7, but I can also imagine you at the age of 87 with your feet turned inwards. On screen turn. The woman came to the door of a room and knocked gently. A weak voice came from inside. Come in. The woman turned the handle, pushed the door open and walked in. Master, the matter has been completed. The perspective in the projection turns to the woman lying on the bed. Seeing this scene, Ben was a little surprised. What? They look exactly the same. Projecting on the hospital bed, the pale-faced woman slowly spoke. My body has begun to fester. As for what had been done, she didn't seem to care. The woman previously called Captain Zhang tore off the human skin mask on her face, revealing her original girlish appearance. Master, please give me a little more time. Even if I die, I will. The woman interrupted her. If you weren't here, I would have been in so much pain that I couldn't control my facial expression. Now I'm just holding on to maintain my dignity as a master. I don't want to endure this kind of pain any longer. Madara moved closer to examine the two's faces carefully. But it still looks very similar. These two women both look like Kai and Shao Kingzu. Ninja world looks like? Could they be blood-related sisters? Isn't there a guy in the village who looks a lot like Rock Lee? I heard that guy can earn several years' salary just by taking a poster. I thought the one wearing the human skin mask was Senju Aotake, but now her master is dying, so it's obvious that her soul came to the ninja world after she died. It seems that the master should be my aunt. On screen the girl opened her mouth, obviously wanting to say something, but the woman didn't give her any chance. She spoke in a babble as if she was leaving her last words. I trained you, and your strength has long surpassed mine. I feel relieved to hand over the team to you. After you lead a team to plunder the supplies of the 3 teams, you can join the number 7 base. Although the strength is not strong, the atmosphere there is very good, and there should be many people with moral bottom line. When she said this, The woman's eyes looked a little complicated. The current base number 4 is no longer the refuge that once saved him in this cruel era. There is only so much she, a woman, can do. The girl turned her head away slightly, her eyes moist. Whether it's appearance, personality, behavior, or, as she spoke, the woman glanced at her. The corner of his mouth twitched slightly. The apprentice, who is 10 years younger than her, is more developed than her, although not much, but ahem, and in terms of experience, you and I are very similar. Seeing you is like seeing myself in the past, especially in this environment. Even I can't believe that there would be someone so similar to me. As she spoke, the projection gradually went dark. When it lit up again, it was time for the next scene. The girl picked up the car keys on the table, put on her bulletproof vest, and couldn't help but frowning slightly. Strange, why do I always feel uneasy? The female team member behind him checked the magazine and said with a smile, Captain, you are a superpower, and you are clearing zombies in your own territory. What is there to worry about? 2. Captain, why are you tying explosives to your body? Old-fashioned explosives like this, in case, then you better be careful not to accidentally detonate the explosives. Don't worry, this is made by me. It will take quite a while to detonate, so there won't be any mistakes. Next scene, the girl was pierced through the chest by a crossbow arrow. The huge force center flying several meters away. Thump. After the girl fell from the air, she rolled on the ground several times before stopping. Bright red blood gushed out from the holes in the bulletproof vest. Far away, the man took out another crossbow arrow and loaded it into the crossbow. With a sarcastic smile on his face, he walked towards the girl behind him. There were several strong men holding submachine guns. When the girl heard the sound of breaking air, she just used her arms to support her upper body, but her body was pierced by the crossbow arrow again. And she had no time to dodge. Have you ever thought that this day would come? The girl coughed up a mouthful of blood, endured the severe pain, and stood up. Of course. I have thought about it. The man raised his crossbow and shot an arrow through the girl's left leg along with the bone. The girl groaned and frowned. The man slowly reloaded a crossbow arrow. Brothers just wanted to communicate with them, not to eat them. Tisk, look how scared you are. The master was scared to death, and the apprentice was scared to death and killed his former comrade in a sneak attack, and then took the supplies of the old boss to join the enemy. As he spoke, he aimed the crossbow at the girl's right leg. The girl shuddered unconsciously and closed her eyes tightly. In this respect, she is very similar to her master. They are both afraid of pain, but neither of them has much fear of death. A man walked up to the girl and squatted down. If you want to use this expression to arouse a man's most primitive desire, I have to say you succeeded. As he spoke, he pointed to several corpses in the distance. You are different from them. You have a very beautiful face. It would be a pity if you died like this. Next to the corpses in the distance, there were 2 scrapped armored vehicles that were emitting thick smoke. The surrounding area was densely packed with deep pits caused by explosives. The girl wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth with her sleeve. The man shook his head regretfully again. What's even more unfortunate is that your master was frightened to death. I have lived for so many years and have never experienced what it feels like to be a rich lady. But you can be her substitute, although you're just an orphan and don't have the prominent status she once had. In my eyes, your value is far less than hers. Pure Land. Madara opened his eyes. It's just a story written by someone from another world. Why am I feeling angry? At this moment, he really wanted to kill the man on the screen. Madara tried to replace the girl at this moment with her master in his mind. I still want to kill this guy. Why? Madara fell into deep thought. I'm not yet ready to recognize Kai Shao Kingzu and her future identity. Is it possible? He thought of a possibility whether he approves or not. The Senju Aotake in the story is very likely to become Uchiha Madara's wife. Since she is Uchiha Madara's wife, how can she be humiliated by just any trash? Thinking of this, Madara sneered. I actually have such a boring thought. On screen, the girl looked at him with murderous intent in her eyes and said in a hoarse voice, go to hell and test your mother. The man's tone suddenly turned cold. It seems you haven't suffered enough. Before he could make any move, the girl suddenly jumped up and threw him to the ground. Next moment, the big men reacted quickly, shooting and retreating at the same time, and every bullet hit the girl's bulletproof vest. The man's eyelids twitched violently. What's that sound? Get out of here, the man shouted angrily, and a burst of electricity surged through him. The girl, who was almost losing consciousness, had all the cells in her body stimulated by the electric current. Behave yourself, to me, the girl growled viciously and slammed her knee hard into the man's crotch. After this, she could no longer hold on and the light in her eyes began to fade. I just said, that of course I have thought about it. In the end, I would end up dying together with such an idiot. What a loss. Boom. The flames engulfed the girl and the man who was convulsing in pain. Pure Land. Hashirama closed his eyes. This world is so cruel. Tobirama crossed his arms. Compared to the zombies mentioned earlier, humans are more terrifying. Izuna felt a little reluctant, but more of a puzzled one, since both the master and the disciple are dead. So, which one is my sister-in-law? Which one is not Senju Tobirama's end? Not to mention him, even Madara was curious about this question at this moment. Which one will it be? Ninja World. I have a feeling that the master is the Senju Aotake. I feel like Madara is more suitable for a more mature woman, and a young girl is more suitable for a Bido in my eyes. That explosive is the same thing as the detonating talisman, right? Superpowers should be similar to chakra in our ninja world, but why doesn't she use it? Did that man use the power of electricity? My god, I'm losing money. I feel like laughing. She seems to like kicking the crotch very much. What a nasty move. Art is an explosion, thanks to this guy's electricity, otherwise he might not have died. Master has already said that my disciple's strength has surpassed hers. Since she is the heroine, she must be the stronger one. On screen Madarachi squeezed even tighter. It seems that she is the Thousand Hands Green Bamboo. After all, they both like to kick the crotch. The injuries of the tribesmen have already spoken it all. The amount of information in this sentence is simply terrifying when you think about it carefully. Fire Nation Muai Village Hokage Building. Sarutobi Hirozen turned his eyes quietly to Fugaku. So those Uchiha who were crippled by the Senju Aotake, is it destroyed like that? Except for Fugaku. The other three people also had very strange expressions. Aren't the Uchiha people in the story too miserable? Naruto's house. Jiraiya choked on his own saliva. Uchiha clan land all the tribesmen. It would be better to die in battle. Kicking the crotch is something that a master can teach his apprentice. No. Kai and Shao Kings who must be his disciple. It's master, it's the apprentice. Pure Land. The thousand-armed Buddha laughed out loud. Uchiha Tajima's face was as black as the bottom of a pot. Tobirama looked gloating. Can you tell me in detail how those Uchiha were destroyed? Izuna's lips moved in the end. I chose to continue to acknowledge her identity as my sister-in-law. Sister-in-law, you have such a cruel heart. Senju Tobirama, your aunt must have been led astray by a bastard like you. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 540 Bedwetting Incident. On screen Madara's final choice did not surprise most people in the ninja world. No need to look any further. Zidane, I want to bind thousand-handed green bamboo, even if I'm just using it. Motor, we'll use the most special one. As for whether Kai and Shao Kingzu is a master or a disciple, it doesn't matter. Most importantly, get the ultimate wedding gift. By that time, he will become the strongest person in the ninja world. Ninja world. It is as expected. I made a decision that went against our ancestors. She is indeed the most special one. Just based on the heroine's experience, I would believe if you said she is harder to capture than the Thousand Hands Buddha. In that thing called projection, the disciple appears more often. Kai and Shao Kingzu must be the disciple. Even if he was 7 years old, Madara-sama wouldn't be thinking about love. On screen after binding the red line object, Madara returned to the tatami. Whenever he closed his eyes, images of zombies would appear in his mind. I do not know how long it has been. Madara got up and groped his way to Izuna's room in the dark the next day. Early morning. Nissan. Oh Nissan. Madara opened his eyes, sat up and yawned. What's wrong? The bed is wet. Madara was startled and subconsciously reached out and touched it. It was wet indeed. Did you wet the bed? Nissan, my pants are dry. Pure Land Man could no longer maintain his calm expression. If you want to make it up, make it more credible. How is it possible that someone wets the bed at the age of 7? Izuna held her forehead with her hand. Really? That's not serious at all. My eldest brother hasn't wet the bed since he was 6 years old. Tobirama was happy. I love to watch this. I won't get tired of seeing Madara looking for the toilet 8 or 10 times in her dream. Ninja World Mr. Madara, we will all keep the secret for you. QQQ. I wanted to laugh, but when I thought about the time I wet the bed when I was 12, I couldn't laugh anymore, because I was afraid of zombies. I went to sleep in my brother's bed and ended up peeing all over the bed. Ho ha. Fire Nation Muai Village. Naruto's house held space. Who the hell peed on my pants? Naruto? Big Fox, you look so happy on screen. And the Senju clan at this time. Hashirama's roar spread throughout the clan. And Tobirama wet the bed. Pure Land. Tobirama couldn't laugh anymore. This time it was Izuna who laughed. I can testify to this. I could smell it even in Uchiha at the time. Ban felt much better. It's normal for children to wet the bed. That guy, Tobirama Senju, can't hold his urine even at the age of 30. Ninja World's second generation master also wet the bed. It's fate. This is fate. The heroine is finally here. Let's see if you are a master or a disciple. And she's calling you. Come out now. On screen, here I come. How many times have I told you? Don't call me aunt. Call me sister, but you are my aunt. The girl held her forehead helplessly. It's always like this. This guy is so stubborn. Isn't it a cotton cloth that absorbs water? Is it useless? Hoshirama complained. It's useless. You drown me again. Kai and Shao Kings, who seem to be thinking about something. The amount is getting bigger and bigger. It seems that this child is very good at water escape. Pure Land Madara sat up straight. Suddenly he wasn't bored anymore. Very unique vision, Izuna said seriously. What sister-in-law said is very reasonable. That guy is indeed very good at water escape. If he hadn't peed out a water dragon and shocked me, I wouldn't have lost to him. Tobirama had a sour face. Issue World guy, your heroine's introduction by wetting the bed is quite unique. Somewhere in the ninja world, Boruto scratched the back of his head. Just like my aunt, she seems to dislike being called old. On screen, Kai and Shao Kings, who lifted Tojin, who was too embarrassed to open his eyes and was still pretending to sleep, into the basin and tidied up the mattress. The cheap sister, who was very kind to me, happened to encounter a surprise attack by Uchiha when she was giving birth. And she died in an accident. She has taken on the responsibility of taking care of the two children. Ever since, mainly, she enjoys the feeling of being a mother. The bedboard has been soaked and softened, probably because it has been pickled. I can pee so easily, I will just sleep in the basin next time. Hoshirama took 2 steps back and covered his nose. If it's in the sleeping basin, then Tobirama won't be able to have it the next day. You can't throw it away. I'm going to give those Uchiha guys a beating when I grow up. Pure Land Izuna looked frightened. Sister-in-law, you must help me beg for mercy and ask that pisspot to let me go. That smell will still be my nightmare even after I die. Madara let out a long sigh. I didn't use my full strength in the future because I was concerned about Tobirama's trump card. As a result, it was because of my hesitation that Black Zetsu had the opportunity to take advantage of me. But if I force this guy to reveal his trump card, I will have to hold my breath and fight against the ninja coalition. Even my samsara I will feel sore. Tobirama had a dark face and said nothing. Suddenly, he sneezed twice. Someone must be cursing me behind my back. Motor, he shouldn't be that bored. Then it must be you, bastard. A high imitation of Uchiha Sasuke. Ninja World, if it's placed in a bowl, the second generation will be the one that enjoys the flavor. Tobirama has been different from ordinary people since he was a child. Tobirama must have secretly awakened a bloodline limit related to urine. On screen in the small courtyard, and please teach me taijutsu. The girl who was rubbing the bed sheet violently was stunned for a moment, then turned to look at Hoshirama. Why did you think of asking me to teach you taijutsu? Hoshirama's eyes were full of stars. I heard many adults in the clan were discussing that the strongest taijutsu in the clan is my aunt. Oh, they are lying. Hoshirama curled his lips. There is no one in the clan who is more deceitful than my aunt. Kai and Shao Kings, who was greatly shocked and said in an exaggerated tone, my dear nephew, you are so smart today that I am surprised. Hoshirama retorted, in fact, I knew it when my aunt lied to me. That's not that smart. Kai and Shao Kings, who sighed. Alice, it's no wonder that you can't see how stupid you are. You accidentally fell headfirst onto the ground when you were delivering the baby. So, Hoshirama was devastated. Is this so? Ninja World, I still can't tell whether she is the master or the apprentice. Hoshirama was quite treacherous when he was young, but I don't know why he became so stupid when he grew up. It's fine even if it's for free. Could it be that the souls of the master and the disciple are both inside Kai and Shao Kings, whose body? On screen, Kai and Shao Kings, who patted his shoulder. Want to go play in the mud at the gate of the yard? There's still some urine left in Tobirama, but I want to learn taijutsu from my aunt. Kai and Shao Kings, who refused mercilessly. Be good, go away and be silly, I don't have time. Chapter 541, 5 years. Hoshirama squatted on the ground, drawing circles on the ground in frustration. But, if you call me something else in the future, I'll be free now. Upon hearing this, Hoshirama's expression twisted into a knot. But if that's the case, seniority, the girl put her hands on her hips, don't worry about seniority. You keep calling me auntie all the time, and you're making me old. It's so annoying. Hoshirama shrank his neck in response to the threat. He looked around and didn't see anyone else, so he whispered, Sister, sister, the girl whispered, why don't I feel very happy? Come on, Zuzi, call me sister again. Ninja World good fellow, you let your nephew call you sister. It's just a name, why do you have to be so serious about it? When I was 16, a kid called me uncle, and it really made me feel uncomfortable. The older you get, the more you care about these things. So Kai and Xiaokings who must be the master. On screen this, Hoshirama looked constipated. Isn't this bad? The girl held up 2 fingers. 2 days. Hoshirama struggled internally. The girl said earnestly, Zuzi, you know I am very busy. If you miss this opportunity, you will never see it again. Hoshirama made up his mind, gritted his teeth, and made a decision. Younger sister, my sister is not young enough. The girl thought for a while. 3 days, come on, big one, just call me placenta. Hoshirama was petrified instantly. Pure Land. Tobirama slapped his forehead. Unbelievable. The Hoshirama was disheveled in the wind. Did I hear wrong? I must have heard it wrong. Madara was speechless. Is this something a normal person can do? The corner of Izuna's mouth twitched. Sister-in-law, you are a bit too extreme. If this is the case, even the seniority won't count. On screen time flies. And 5 years have passed in the blink of an eye. Uchiha clan land. Madara formed seals with his hands and a fireball burst out of his mouth. Boom. It takes 10 years to sharpen a sword, and 5 years to sharpen half of it now. Madara's strength has even surpassed some adults in the clan in the war with the Senju last month. He even killed an adult ninja with his own hands after training. Madara came to an empty corner. Strange. How come Kai and Xiaokings who has never been to a battlefield in the past 5 years? System, is that woman still alive? Where is she? The next moment, a map appeared in front of Madara's eyes, and at the place marked as Kai and Xiao on the map, a small red dot was lit. Has she been staying in the Senju clan all these years? Now Senju clan Kai and Xiaokings who, carrying a lot of bags, just returned to the clan's territory and saw Tobirama leaning against the door with his arms folded. Wait for her to come closer. Hey, whose child is this? Why are you here? Little boy, where are your parents? Pure Land. Tobirama frowned. What kind of trick is this? He's already 7 years old. Why are you still talking to him in such a childish tone? On screen, after hearing Tobirama's 3 consecutive questions, Kai and Xiaokings who put the things he bought on the ground and pointed inside the clan's land. Ninja World. Cough, cough, cough. I choked on my saliva. Auntie's mentality becomes younger as she gets older. This is a very advanced way of flattering someone. I've learned a lot. Hoshirama, look at him. Pure Land. Tobirama's head is full of question marks. Hoshirama couldn't help but laugh. Madara's brain also crashed for a moment. What? Senju. Tobirama, I seem to see a tail wagging behind you. Izuna was incredulous and said, did Tobirama Senju say that? Ape. His paw transformed into a flatterer. On screen, on the way back to the courtyard, Kai and Xiaokings who walked in front with empty hands. Tobirama, carrying a lot of bags, walked behind the girl in front, lowered her voice and asked in a very funny tone, Mirror, mirror, who is the most beautiful woman in the world? The door room behind. And, it's Ent. What? It turned out to be that woman? Damn it. Then I am convinced. Tobirama sighed like a little adult. Wait until you get back to the room. Tobirama piled the things in his hands onto the bed and couldn't help complaining. Really, I'm wasting the family's money again. Kai and Xiaokings who opened a package and took out the exquisite photo frame inside. Your aunt is the richest person in the entire ninja world. Tobirama's face was full of seriousness. You are lying again. At the age of 3, how can you afford so many things regardless of the money your family asks for? Ninja World. No wonder Tobirama is so smart. It turns out he has been trained since he was a child. Jin Shou Qingzhu's past 5 years. No, that's not right. She said 5 years ago that she was very busy. Did she start making money at that time? No wonder she doesn't need to go to the battlefield even though she is so powerful. If I go back to the Warring States period with my current memories, I can also become the richest man. Pure Land. The corner of Tobirama's mouth twitched. I didn't know I was so eloquent. Hoshirama couldn't bear to look at it. Tobirama, how have you been spending the past 5 years? Izuna said in amazement. You know what, Senju. Tobirama, you really are quite something. On screen, Kai and Xiaokings' eyebrows curved. You flatter me so loudly. Tell me, what do you want my aunt to help you with? Tobirama's expression became more serious. The Uchiha and Senju have clashed again. There will be a war soon. Do you have any thoughts on participating in this war? I heard that my aunt is very powerful. If you were here, fewer people would die in the clan. Kai and Xiaokings bit his nails. Actually, I don't go to the battlefield because I'm afraid of seeing corpses. Is that so? Pure Land. Tobirama was speechless. Can you come up with a better reason? The number of corpses you've seen may be more than the population of the Warring States period. You said you're afraid of seeing corpses, you might as well say you're only afraid of immobile corpses. Quan Nai said seriously. Yes, I can help to testify. My sister-in-law is indeed very afraid of seeing the corpse. The corner of Madara's mouth twitched. A woman like this, you can't see what's in her mind at all. It's easy to imagine that it won't be easy to conquer. The best way is to completely defeat Kai and Xiao with strength. Ninja World, if I didn't know about your past life, I would believe it. Nidame, you are going too far. How can you let a 3-year-old girl go to the battlefield? Would it be better if you pretended to be terrified? After all, Tobirama is quite smart. You can't fool him like Hashirama. No, Auntie has to go to the battlefield. Otherwise, how can she meet Madara-sama on screen? And I am now faced with two choices. Kai and Xiao Kings, who made a gesture of invitation, say Tobirama's gradually growing serious expression was confused for a moment. One is that I believe what you are saying now, and I am afraid of seeing the corpse. One is to believe what you said before. Don't just believe what beautiful women say. Auntie, which one should I believe? Kai and Xiao Kings, who smiled and said, believe the first sentence, don't believe the second one. Tobirama. Chapter 542, First Encounter. Ninja World. As expected, people from another world speak more pleasantly. Haha, my aunt is so narcissistic. Tobirama, listen to your aunt. Believe the first sentence but not the second. Can your aunt harm you? Tisk. This is a family harmony quote from the Nidame. On screen, Tobirama's eyes were dim. Compared to me, my aunt really loves my big brother more. When my big brother went to the battlefield, my aunt would personally protect him until he became a ninja good enough to protect himself. Alright, I'll go. Isn't that okay? I really can't do anything about you. Kai and Xiao Kings, who said helplessly she knew Tobirama wasn't doing this for himself. Hearing her agreement, a smile appeared on Tobirama's face. Thank you, Auntie. In fact, he could see that his aunt had no feelings for her fellow tribesmen, and was unwilling to interact with them on a daily basis, keeping a distance from everyone. I don't have any sense of belonging to the Senju clan. He even suspected that if it weren't for him and his elder brother, his aunt might have left the Senju clan and moved away from here long ago. Ninja World. My aunt went to the battlefield to protect her nephew. Judging from her expression, she obviously doesn't like that kind of place. In the past 5 years, Kai and Xiao Kings, whose strength may have become stronger than that of the Kai and Xiao clan leader, I feel the same way about this. I don't like the so-called clansmen and want to cut off all ties with these distant relatives forever because they have been causing me trouble. They're all trivial matters, but it is really tiring to pick up sesame seeds all over the ground. Thinking of what happened to Uchiha Hikaru, the Senju clan is not much better. The only difference is that my aunt's experience in her previous life was not ordinary and not so easy to grasp. In that era, when the average life expectancy of a ninja was only 30 years old, anyone born into a great ninja clan was destined to sacrifice everything for the clan, including their family members and descendants. Even the clan leader and his son had to have this awareness. If I were Kai and Xiao Kingsu, I would also leave the family if I had the ability. Everything I have belongs to this family since birth. I watched helplessly as my parents, brothers and sisters, and children sacrificed themselves for this family one after another, and in the end I would die in battle myself. Madara and my aunt are finally going to meet, but it might be a little difficult for Madara to pursue my aunt now. On screen, one of the battlefields 3 days later in the forest, you finally showed up. Kai and Xiao Kingsu. Go to hell. SHH, there was a flash of a knife, and an arm holding a kunai flew out. The Uchiha ninja grunted, leaped back, and spewed a fireball from his mouth. A faint voice came from behind. Are you performing acrobatics? The two Magatama in the Uchiha ninja's pupils shook violently, and he vomited a mouthful of blood. The next moment, his figure hid an Uchiha member who was rushing towards this side like a cannonball. After Kai and Xiao Kingsu landed on the ground, he swung the samurai sword in his hand casually. Ding! She blocked the incoming shuriken with her sword. Kai and Xiao Kingsu turned around and saw a hedgehog-headed boy standing under a tree not far ahead. In the distance, Uchiha Tajima, who was entangled by the thousand-armed Buddha, had bloodshot eyes. Motor. Run. Madara pretended not to hear. Is this the thousand-armed green bamboo that will allow me to possess the bloodline of the six-path sage? Finally I meet you for those eyes. I will do whatever it takes, even if it means anything. However, he also knew that it was unrealistic to obtain a complete bloodline and awaken the Rinnegan immediately. In that case, let's start by making her remember me. After 5 years of hard training, today is finally the time to fulfill my efforts. Thinking of this, Madara closed his eyes, and when he opened them again, a Magatama emerged from his eye socket. Child, Qian Shaokingzu raised his eyebrows. You didn't run, as the hedgehog-headed boy rushed over. 2 more shurikens flew out from his hands while Senju Aotake dodged the shuriken by leaning sideways. The young man holding the samurai sword had already chopped him down. Ding! 2 samurai swords collide. The wave stirred up by the wind blew thousand hands green bamboo's hair. Madara's pupils contracted. He was able to block his sword at such a close distance without even moving a step, and his speed was so fast that even his Sharingan couldn't catch it. There must be a reason why this woman is so feared by the tribesmen. A look of surprise also flashed in Qian Shaokingzu's eyes. Obviously, he didn't expect that the kid in front of him would have so much strength. Ninja World Madara had already defeated an adult of the Senju clan before he even opened his eyes. Now he has been training even harder for 5 years and has even opened his Sharingan. His strength should not be underestimated. This is a domestic violence scene. Very good, I have already left an impression on my end. What are you yelling about, Uchiha clan leader? Can't you have a little confidence in your son? On screen Senju Aotake raised his foot and kicked sideways, hitting Madara in the chest. Madara's feet slid back several meters after stopping. Madara's eyes became serious. It's really fast. The moment their eyes met, Madara took a step and rushed forward again. Qian Shaokingzu, who was standing still, said calmly, "If you run away now, I can pretend I didn't see it." Hearing this, Ban said angrily, "How dare you look down on me? I don't have time to play with you anymore." When the hedgehog-headed boy rushed forward, Qian Shaokingzu grabbed the boy's wrist holding the samurai sword with his backhand, and then kicked him in the crotch. "My dear little friend named Madara, from now on, your world will only have red, orange, yellow, green and blue." After saying that, Qian Shaokingzu walked around the hedgehog-haired boy who was lying on the ground with his hands covering his crotch, his face turning purple. He didn't kill him, nor did he look at him again. He just walked past him. Seeing this scene, Uchiha Tajima shouted at the top of his lungs, "Retreat! Save Madara and retreat!" Somewhere in the ninja world the man holding the beheading sword was shocked. "What the hell?" The scorpion has a strange look in his eyes. People from the other world speak quite reservedly. "If Mada needs to transform his body into a puppet, I can help." Pure Land Ban looked unhappy. The corners of Izuna's mouth twitched wildly. "Only red, orange, yellow, green and blue are left. Sister-in-law, we should be civilized but not martial. But since Big Brother is the hero of the story, there shouldn't be any problems, right?" A look of pity appeared on Hashirame's face. Poor Motor. Tobirama felt that this should be his happiest moment. Another disabled Uchiha. After saying this, for some reason, Ichiriko Ramen suddenly came to his mind. 5 years of hard training in exchange for a voucher for sterilization. Ha 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 ha. Fire Nation Muai Village Naruto's house held space. Well done. Kyuubi laughed wildly with excitement. "This time you can marry Senju Furuma." Ninja World. This result really surprised me. The consequences of not listening to Dad, it's impossible to break it. Auntie will be with Madara-sama in the future. Ban is too confident in his own strength. He knows that Senju Aoki is not a good person, but he still dares to face her alone. Fortunately, Senju Aoki will not kill easily. Neither Madara-sama nor my aunt is the type of person who easily gets emotional. I don't know how these two will get together in the future. Just wait a few years and open the main Gekio. Madara-sama is a little too impatient. It would be easier to pursue her if I replaced my aunt with Sister Aoi. On screen on the way back to the clan land, Senju Batsuma wanted to ask Senju Aotake why she didn't kill Madara, but when he thought of her methods of fighting the enemy, he didn't ask. In the end, Qian Shaokingzu, who was walking in front, was carefully wiping the blood off the knife with a white towel, perhaps because he wanted to take good care of his 2 nephews. Qian Shaokingzu gradually developed misophobia after his sister passed away. Over the years, her misophobia has become more and more serious. It's okay outside, after all, she has a strong ability to adapt, but when she was at home, she even thought Hashirama and Tobirama were dirty. Hashirama trotted over to Senju Aotake's side. "And, thanks to your Senju, we were able to defeat Uchiha so quickly." Tobirama disagreed. "Brother, how can you say such a thing with your eyes open? She is an adult, and you call her aunt." Hashirama. Senju Aotake glanced at Tobirama with resentment, then looked at Hashirama and said, "Yes, my aunt could have made a living with her ability, but she chose to rely on her beauty." Tobirama nodded, looking like he fully agreed with what his aunt said. Qian Shaokingzu, "I don't know who it is, but I am the one who is it." Tobirama. Hashirama. Boda Room. The Thousand Hands tribe members behind him. Ninja World. Maddest, but only half modest. I really want to marry a person from another world, who won't have to do anything else but chat with me, haha. The Thousand Hands tribe leader doesn't dare to question my aunt. Is he afraid that my aunt will give him a kick? Did Madara-sama really get kicked? How can you have a baby with your aunt in the future? Sister Aoi, the Uchiha, is more down to earth than Aunt, the Senju. Although Sister Aoi is a little scheming, she is kind and considerate. Although Aunt is also very interesting, she is cold and indifferent from the bottom of her heart. She gives me the feeling that she doesn't care about anyone except her two nephews. On screen Uchiha clan land Madara's facial features were twisted in pain. Izuna, I'm in so much pain. Izuna, who was slightly injured, had tears in her eyes. No, big brother. Those tribesmen who were plotted against by Qian Shao Kings who only felt pain for 2 or 3 days at most. Big brother, you will be fine too. Looking at Madara's painful expression, Izuna could no longer suppress the anger in her heart. Damn it. I'm going to kill that woman. Having said that, he walked out the door angrily. Uchiha Tajima reached out to stop him. Father, please don't stop me. I want to avenge my elder brother. As he said this, a scarlet magadama appeared in Izuna's eyes. Uchiha Tajima was stunned. After a moment of silence, he spoke. Your mother and brothers have already died. It is not certain whether your eldest brother can recover. Please leave a descendant for the clan leader, Izuna. Chapter 543 with chapter 3 months later beside the river, the hedgehog-haired boy threw the stone in his hand with force. Clap clap. The stone made 3 splashes on the water and then sank into the river. He was not discouraged and picked up another stone. At this moment, a voice came from behind him. You haven't been here for a long time. The hedgehog-haired boy paused in throwing the stone. I came here today just to wait for you. Senju Hoshirama. After a moment of silence, Hoshirama felt his heart sink. You really already knew my last name. I thought you. Do you think I will keep playing dumb? As he said that, Madara threw the stone in his hand with force. Clap clap. After 2 sounds, the stone sank into the river. PFFT, Hoshirama laughed out loud. With such great momentum, the result is worse than before. Spot. The corner of his mouth twitched, and he said in a serious tone, this is the last time I come here. Next time we meet, we will be enemies. The smile on Hoshirama's face gradually disappeared. Why? Is it because I am a Senju? Before, a pair of scarlet magadama appeared in Madara's eyes, and he turned to look at Hoshirama, interrupting what he was about to say. Tell your aunt for me that I will definitely avenge that kick. I have never suffered such humiliation in my life. Also let her remember that the man who finally defeated the Senju and ended the chaotic Warring States period was named Uchiha Madara. Hoshirama was startled. End of the Warring States period. Muttering something, Hoshirama looked at Madara's back and asked, were you kicked by your aunt? If that's the case, then I'll apologize to you on her behalf. Spot. He immediately became furious. Apologize? If I really got kicked, I wouldn't be waiting for you here alone. The first thing I will do is to let that woman experience what it feels like to lose her nephew. Hoshirama crouched down, sinking into depression. I'm sorry that what I said just now hurt your self-esteem, but you can't be a match for my aunt, so just give up. She has never taken her seriously, humph. Just wait and see. Remember to tell me what I said. After saying that, Madara wanted to continue walking home. Hoshirama shouted, Matarala. Will you come here tomorrow? Madara was not coming, so when will you come over? Let's play water skipping and train together. Madara turned around and yelled at him, I told you. We are already enemies, then I won't bring you any more messages. Spot. I will come tomorrow. Remember to tell me what I have to say. Then tell me the woman's reaction and what she said. Pure Land. Tobirama shook his head. He didn't become disabled. It's disappointing. Ninja World. I knew that the god of ninja was a treacherous person. It's happened several times, but Madara never got angry with him. Tobirama and Izuna both knew each other, but Madara and Hoshirama had never even met each other when they first met. It seems that the battlefields of the Uchiha and the Senju were not just one, but several. Madara is not trying to use Hoshirama as a breakthrough point, trying to retreat in order to advance and leave an impression on my aunt. Right, it's unrealistic to want to capture my aunt now. Who would like a child who is the same age as their nephew? My aunt used to call Madara a little boy. It will take at least a few more years until he has acquired strength and a mature personality before there will be a chance. On screen Thousand Hands Clan Land and in the kitchen Qian Shao Kings who scooped a spoonful of the stewed chicken he had just made after taking a bite. Well, this chicken died in vain again. And, you are wasting food again. Kage Xiaokingzu swallowed a chicken without changing his expression. Nonsense, I will eat it all myself. Hoshirama walked forward curiously. It's not dark this time. He picked up a piece of bone and meat from the pot with his hands. As a result, I spit it out as soon as I put it in my mouth. Pa. How can you eat something so disgusting? And Kage Xiaokingzu smiled and said, my aunt has eaten everything. Hoshirama stepped on the cockroach that was crawling towards the corner and killed it. He curled his lips, bragging, I don't believe it, you must be lying to me again. Kage Xiaokingzu glanced at the squashed cockroach on the ground. When you eat a cockroach, you will smell a foul odor, and you will feel the pain from the scraping of the tentacles and tongue teeth when the cockroach is struggling to death. The texture of the cockroach shell is similar to the biscuits brought back by the Fire Country, which is crispy. There is not much juice in the cockroach, but you will still feel a slight bitter taste in your mouth after eating it. Hoshirama looked annoyed when he heard this. Alright. I believe it. Is it not enough that I believe it? Ninja World, it's amazing. It's exactly the same as described. It sounds so disgusting. Compared to cockroaches, even the leftovers in the trash can are good things, let alone the unpalatable dishes. It turns out that when people are hungry, they will eat anything. Somewhere in the ninja world inside the manor it doesn't sound as delicious as beef, so why not eat beef? Master, she couldn't eat beef at that time, she's so pitiful then. Butler, I haven't seen you smile for a long time. Master, I just remembered something very happy. Pure Land. Madara was thoughtful. It seems that the other world is more difficult than I thought. Izuna was silent for a moment. I suddenly feel a little sorry for the sister-in-law who doesn't even exist. On screen Hoshirama took another bite. Compared to the cockroaches my aunt mentioned, this chicken isn't that unacceptable. Kage Xiaokingzu took a sip of soup, frowned and asked, why did you come to me? Do you want a free meal? It's like this, and, do you know Ban? Hearing his words, a figure appeared in Kage Xiaokingzu's mind. It's that little brat. What happened to him? After saying that, she looked disgusted again. His skin is so dark, I don't know how long he hasn't showered. I can see a lot of mud on his body. It feels like he hasn't changed his underwear for a year. It's so dirty. Izuna, although I was biased, it left a deep impression on my sister-in-law, didn't it? Nissan, Madara had a sullen face. You haven't changed your underwear for just 1 year. Outrageous. How dare you? A guy who dug out a corpse's head with your bare hands, call others dirty. Pure Land. Tobirama couldn't help but laugh. That's accurate, but there's one thing that's wrong. Madara won't change his underwear after wearing it for a year, he'll just turn it inside out and continue wearing it. Chapter 544 Naming. Ninja World. 1 good news and 1 bad news. They left an impression, but it wasn't a good one, so in my aunt's eyes, Madara-sama is just a dirty little brat who got kicked by her, right? Ho-ha. Given the difficulty of this strategy, I think I will feel a great sense of accomplishment when I finally get my aunt. I really want to know what Madara's expression is like now. It must be very exciting, right? On screen Hoshirama suppressed his laughter. Kage Xiaokingzu asked, why did he ask you to bring a message? Did you meet him? This, Hoshirama's eyes were wandering and he looked guilty. This, Kage Xiaokingzu waved his hands, alright, no need to say more, as long as you are not in love with him. Your aunt's big heart can still bear it. Hoshirama, Ninja World. And, have you ever heard the saying? Whatever you fear will come true. Fortunately, I wasn't delivering a message to the leader of the Thousand Hands clan, otherwise something bad would have happened. You are still too young. Madara-sama asked Hoshirama to tell his aunt a message, and the next day he asked Hoshirama to tell him how his aunt reacted. This kind of thing itself is very dangerous. On screen when you are with him, be careful not to reveal information about Senju. After saying that, Kage Xiaokingzu reminded him again, also, pay attention to safety. The next day beside the river you said I was dirty? I don't know how long it has been since I took a shower. It seems like I haven't changed my underwear in a year. Madara pointed at himself in disbelief. Are you sure you're talking about me? You didn't lie to me. Hoshirama shook his head honestly. No. Madara took a deep breath. What about the things I said? Did I tell her? I did, but my aunt didn't say anything. Ban frowned. What's the reaction? What's the expression? Hoshirama spread his hands. It's like he didn't hear anything. Hey, Mada, are you going back? Not going to practice anymore. Madara sighed, waved his hand and said, I'm not in the mood to practice anymore. Let's do it another day. I'm going back now. That night when Hoshirama arrived at a courtyard, he looked very surprised. Huh? Where did this dog come from? It's so big. Why is the belly a little big? Is it pregnant? Leaning against the wall with his arms folded, Tobirama explained, my aunt found it outside. She was pregnant, and she was very clean when she was brought back, not like a stray dog. Kai and Xiaokings who brought a bowl of mashed egg yolk and chicken and placed it in front of the white dog. It kept following me on the way back from shopping. I don't know if it got separated from its owner or was thrown away. It just so happens that I really want to have a dog. Since it followed me back, it's mine. Hoshirama chuckled twice. This dog is quite good at clinging to others. Kai and Xiaokings who touched the dog's head. Since you are following me, choose a new name. What name should I choose? How about calling it AK-47, Big White Dog? Woof woof. Seeing its resistance, Senjuao take turn to look at Hashirama and Tobirama. It said yes. Tobirama nodded seriously yes. The corner of Hashirama's mouth twitched. It's clearly saying it's not good. Kai and Xiaokings who curled his lips. Hashirama complained, and what does this name mean? It's so tongue-twisting. Tobirama, do you know what it means? I don't understand. But you, stupid brother, have undermined my self-confidence. Kai and Xiaokings who thought about it and found that it was indeed a bit confusing and it's a bit weird to the people in this world. What name should we give it then? After thinking for a while, she couldn't think of any good name. Hashirama. Never mind. Tobirama, what did you have for breakfast? Kai and Xiaokings who planned to give the dog a name after food. Hashirama answered loudly, Nick, Thousand Hens Green Bamboo, Pure Land. Tobirama, spreading rumors like this is too much. Hoshirama's eyes suddenly widened. I can't even imagine Tobirama eating that. Ben couldn't help laughing. If possible, I really want to ask you in person what your nose tastes like. Izuna was shocked. Is this the secret of your becoming stronger? Ninja World. Hashirama wouldn't lie, so Tobirama really ate it. This is not something the second generation would do. The big melons of Konoha's strong men always explode like this. My aunt is speechless, compared to the previous names. The name Biga is a complete win. It's easy to lose control of the amount when you first start cooking. I guess my aunt simply wants to keep a dog because she doesn't want to waste those unpalatable dishes. If you give a dog this name, the dog will run away from home. On screen Tobirama was furious. You flicked it into my mouth. Hoshirama shrank his neck when he yelled at him. Kai and Xiaokings who was too lazy to pay attention to the two people, and turned to ask the dog. Peanuts, edamame, cabbage, sweet potato, egg fried rice, dog eggs, brain, oh my. That's all, you can choose one. Hoshirama was stunned. Hey, what the hell is this? Woof. Kai and Xiaokings who made the decision. Okay. That's it. Woof woof woof. Kai and Xiaokings who smiled and said, seeing you so happy, I feel relieved. As if sensing danger, the dog's barking stopped abruptly. Ninja World, what a nice name. Look how happy it makes AI. You called me 4 times. Hey, you obviously wanted the name Sweet Potato. What a strong aunt. What kind of a name is that? When the dog runs away, will you shout hey, hey all over the street when you're looking for it? Brain. Aren't you afraid that if you meet your tribesmen when you go out, they will ask you why you didn't bring your brain with you today? My aunt is a genius at naming. On screen the days passed one by one, and soon a month had passed. Kai and Xiaokings whose cooking skills have improved a lot in this month. AI also successfully gave birth to 3 puppies before going out. Kai and Xiaokings who placed a small bowl of minced meat porridge in front of at Fire Nation in a private room of a luxurious restaurant. Yaoi bowed and said, Sir, the funds are already sufficient, then let's start the plan, starting with the Kingdom of Wind and the Kingdom of Earth. Yes. Kai and Xiaokings who picked up the teacup and took a sip, then asked, have you found the behind-the-scenes boss of the gold exchange? We tried many ways but couldn't find it. Kai and Xiaokings who put down his teacup and rubbed his brows. So, temporarily give up the market of the land of Earth, and first imitate the model of the gold exchange to create one ourselves, continue to spend money to issue simple high-value bounty tasks, and dig bounty ninjas and those wandering ninjas to our side, and see if we can blow that guy out. As for what to do next, never mind, I'm just sitting around doing nothing anyway. To be on the safe side, I'll come here often in the near future until I have complete control over the exchange. Go ahead and do it. Yaoi responded. Yes. Kai and Xiaokings who stood up and walked out of the private room and headed towards the door. The 2 welcoming beauties in Cheongsam standing by the door bowed slightly. Boss Kai and Xiaokings whose thoughts were interrupted, and when he looked up he saw the hedgehog-haired boy. Before she could speak, the young man spoke first. It's you? How come I run into you when I come here to eat? What bad luck? Although he said this, His eyes went past a 1,000-handed green bamboo in front of him and kept looking around the store. He had never seen such a luxurious restaurant from the clothes of the people dining inside. You can tell that they are all rich or noble. Every shop assistant is a beautiful lady wearing cheongsam. 2 women standing at the door just now were actually called Kai and Xiao Kingzu boss. Kai and Xiao Kingzu saw that the boy kept glancing at the store, so she lowered her gaze with a half smile on her face. How come, when you are the most useless, you meet a group of sisters who want to protect you? Chapter 545 Ambush. Pure Land. The corners of Ben's mouth twitched, and he was speechless. This person speaks really, although I have never heard such dirty talk. The meaning is easy to understand. Izumi's face was tense. This sentence, Tobirama said regretfully, it's a pity that kick didn't cripple this guy. Ninja World. Madara is getting anxious and has started creating opportunities for chance encounters, and he feels like she's going to be the villain behind the scenes. Shouldn't you have met someone you want to protect? How is it useless? It's still useful. It's not broken. Madara-sama is not a patient person at all. If he could leave the golem, he would have collected the tail beasts by himself long ago. Naruto and Sasuke would not have had the chance to grow. I guess he can't wait to get the final reward from the system. Near Raichi Cave, Kakashi murmured, have you targeted the gold exchange? If you control the gold exchange, you can spend money to hire bounty ninjas in the ninja world. You can imagine how huge this force is. By the way, who is the boss behind the gold exchange? Suddenly, an idea popped into his mind that made his scalp tingle. The pupils of Itachi beside him also shrank. I hadn't thought about it carefully at first. After watching the live broadcast for such a long time, they have understood 99% of the ninja world, no matter how complicated it is, but we still don't know who is the boss behind the gold exchange. The two looked at each other. Itachi, who did you think of? Itachi hesitated, but said it anyway. Big name, to be precise. They are the daimyo of various countries. Kakashi said, I thought of that, too, but this way. There are many things that are terrifying to think about, but I think Black Zetsu is also a possibility. It is impossible that Black Zetsu did nothing in the past 1,000 years. If the gold exchange is used properly, its effect will definitely be significant and will be more conducive to Black Zetsu's plan. On screen the smiles of the two receptionists widened a little. The boy's disgusted expression froze after realizing what was happening. The boy blushed and covered his crotch. Where are you looking? Who would be so philandering as to want to find a group? And I didn't look at those women. They were the ones blocking my view. Since this is your restaurant, I would rather starve to death than go in and spend money. Also, just wait. I will avenge that kick one day sooner or later. Kai and Xiao Kingzu said calmly, you should be thankful that this is not a suitable place to fight. After saying that, he was too lazy to pay attention to him anymore and turned around to get on a carriage. The boy clenched his fists as he looked in the direction the carriage left. Hateful. From childhood to adulthood, even the adults have never looked down on me like this. Until the carriage disappeared from his sight, the boy was a little depressed. When you actually do some things, you will find that they are more difficult than you imagine. Even if he couldn't wait any longer, there was nothing he could do. However, today's experience gave him a wake-up call. In the future, I can deliberately create opportunities for encounters to give Kai and Xiao Kingzu the impression that we have a strong connection anyway. He can look at the map and know the location of thousand-handed green bamboo at any time while slowly leaving a deep impression on Kai and Xiao Kingzu. He also improved his own strength. This was definitely better than doing nothing. It didn't take long. The voice of the tribesman came from behind Madara. Young clan leader, we have already bought all the necessary ninja tools and detonating tags. We should go back after dinner? Madara touched his belly. I haven't eaten yet, but I don't have much appetite anymore. Let's go. Ninja World. It turned out to be just a chance encounter. I misunderstood Madara-sama before. I thought he had already thought of this method. The goal is clearly right in front of us. As long as we complete the mission, we will obtain the bloodline of the Sage of Six Paths and will be invincible in no time. But the difficulty lies in the fact that Madara-sama has chosen a very difficult mission target for himself. It's a good idea to create an opportunity for a chance encounter. What they lack most right now is understanding each other. On screen Thousand Hands Clan Land. When Kai and Xiao Kingzu walked into the courtyard, he happened to see Aoi feeding 3 children. Hey, seeing her come back, he raised his legs a little higher. The meaning is clear this time. I'll treat you. Seeing this scene, Kai and Xiao Kingzu waved his hands repeatedly. No, you're too polite. Just keep it for your child. Ninja World. This is so touching. Woo, he's a good dog, and he knows how to be grateful. Tisk, this is the first time I've seen a dog that doesn't like to owe favors to others. Hey, It's been fed by you for so long. Auntie, it will feel uneasy if you don't taste it. Is the boss behind the gold exchange Black Zetsu? If you provoke that sinister guy, you will definitely be targeted. On screen the next day in the afternoon, Qian Shaokingzu in the carriage suddenly opened his eyes. Ding ding, my lord. There is an ambush. Hey, up. The reins holding the horse were cut by a shuriken. The frightened horse neighed, abandoned the carriage and ran away. Qian Shaokingzu lifted the curtain of the car and saw figures gathering in the forest ahead. There are obviously a lot of people. The driver who was driving her car was now lying in a pool of blood. Chapter 546, Insolent. Qian Shaokingzu frowned slightly at this moment. A figure jumped high in the air and slashed at her with a samurai sword in his hand. Qian Shaokingzu drew his sword and held it across his head. Ding! Sparks flew when the two knives collided. The next moment, Qian Shaokingzu spat out a wind blade from his mouth. The bounty ninja paused, and the clothes around his waist were instantly soaked with blood. Qian Shaokingzu suddenly threw two shurikens towards the forest. Boom! Two Qiu Li with explosive tags tied to them were blocked by shuriken. Not far away, Madara, who was originally traveling according to the route on the map, suddenly raised his head after hearing the explosion. A beam of fire shot up into the sky and quickly dissipated. Madara rushed towards that location without thinking. When he arrived, he found three corpses lying next to Qian Shaokingzu, and the samurai sword in her hand was still dripping with blood. Qian Shaokingzu threw the samurai sword aside, took out a rubber band, and casually tied his loose hair into a ponytail. After doing all this, her figure disappeared from the spot. This made Madara, who had already activated his Sharingan, stunned for a moment. Even though she has two Magatama, her movements are still so hard to grasp. Soon, a big fire broke out in the forest, and then there was a hiss sound, and the rising smoke swept towards Ban. Madara raised his arms to shield his face. After the warm air wave stopped, Madara gritted his teeth and rushed towards the forest. There are at least a dozen enemies in the forest. Even if his father and the Senju clan leader faced the siege of so many ninjas alone, they might not be able to come out alive. His goal has not been achieved yet. This woman cannot die. In the forest, the bounty ninja standing on the tree trunk had just completed the hand seal and was about to perform wind escape when a drop of sweat suddenly slid down his face. The next moment, his mouth was covered, his neck felt cold, and blood spurted out from the artery. The moment thousand-handed green bamboo left the tree, boom boom boom, the tree was engulfed by the explosion of the detonating talisman. The enemy is very strong. Surround him first, and wait for the smoke to clear. Before the bounty ninja could finish his shout, he was hit in the face by a small fist. His figure flew backwards and stopped only after crashing into a tree. Thousand hands green bamboo seal. A wall of earth rose from the ground beneath my feet. Boom boom, the earth wall was shattered by two fireballs, and Qian Shaokingzu, who was carried into the air by the earth wall, also saw the location of most people. She stepped on the broken earth wall and used the force to dive towards one of the bounty ninjas. Downward, the bounty ninja drew out his kunai to block the three shurikens coming from the left, right and top. What a tricky shuriken! She is here. Hearing his shout, the rest of the bounty ninjas gathered around and looked ahead vigilantly. Get out of the way. Behind me, several wind blades attacked several people from behind. Two of them were unable to dodge and their bodies were cut in half. This woman can teleport. No. There are two enemies. The target's support has arrived. Retreat first. Madara opened his Sharingan, formed hand seals, and spit out a fireball in the direction of Senju Aotake. Boom! Seeing this, Qian Shaokingzu also formed seals and performed water escape with a hiss sound. The smoke that was about to fade away became thick again. Retreat. Retreat quickly. Although some ninjas shouted this, there was still a bounty ninja who rushed towards Madara. Regardless, Madara was a little annoyed. The other party was obviously targeting his Sharingan. He looks easier to deal with than thousand-handed green bamboo. Asshole. How dare you look down on me? He threw out four shurikens with all his might. Three blocked the ninja's escape route. One was aimed directly at his face, and following closely behind was a scorching fireball. Thousand hands green bamboo slapped the ground with his palm. Earth spikes emerged from the ground and attacked the bounty ninja. After seeing this scene, the bounty ninja stopped moving, dropped his hand that was about to form a seal, and completely gave up resistance. Boom! The retreating bounty ninja couldn't help but look back. What the hell? Uchiha actually teamed up with Senju. Senju Aotake is indeed very strong. Even without that Uchiha brat, it would not be easy for us to get the bounty. Did we choose the wrong target? After all, the Senju and Uchiha teaming up, it's impossible no matter how you think about it. The smoke quickly dissipated. Only Senju Aotake and Madara were left there. Qian Shaokingzu was breathing softly, and a few strands of hair were stuck to his face because of sweat. Although the battle did not last long, Maintaining high-speed movement for a long time still consumed a lot of her physical strength. Madara glanced at the surrounding environment destroyed by the battle and the corpses on the ground, and had a clearer understanding of the strength of the woman in front of him. If, as expected, he should be stronger than his father and the leader of the Senju clan. After taking 2 breaths, Kage Kingsu looked at Madara in front of him. She really couldn't understand why this kid wanted to help her, so she just asked directly, "Why help me? What is your purpose?" Madara said as if it was a matter of course, "Because the only one who can defeat you is me." Kage Kingsu's mouth twitched. It is good. What a chunyabayao boy. Ninja world, that's a good reason. There's nothing wrong with this sentence. Why is it considered a chunyabayao? There are so many bounty ninjas. They know that my aunt is very powerful and still dare to take risks. They will split the bounty equally afterwards. It seems that my aunt's bounty is not low. Isn't my aunt a little too strong? She's stronger than the 2 clan leaders. She should have been the best in the ninja world at that time, right? On screen, Kage Kingsu seemed to be thinking about something. "Oh, it seems that the kick caused you great harm, so great that you have to kill me with your own hands to relieve the hatred in your heart." He was kicked to pulp but not killed, which makes people feel unlovable, and this is indeed very hateful. Ben's face darkened. "I'm sorry to disappoint you. Your kick didn't cause much damage to me." Kage Kingsu looked at him in confusion. "Are you wearing bulletproof pants? It shouldn't be. I felt like I had kicked him at that time. Since I kicked you, there's no way you'll be alright." She is still very confident in her strength. Ban's face was grim. It's okay. Not just me. Most of the tribe members are fine too." "Really? If there's nothing wrong with it, why do you have to seek revenge on me?" Madara's expression was filled with anger. "That's because you used such a despicable move to humiliate me." Kage Kingsu waved his hands. "Don't bother to quibble. Don't worry, I won't discriminate against eunuchs." Madara's chest heaved, and he was very angry. "I'm helping you out of kindness, but you still suspect that I'm a eunuch? You're such a woman?" Kage Kingsu stretched and walked out of the forest. "Sorry, I am used to having no conscience." Kage Kingsu came to the driver's body after looking at his body for a while. He took out the scroll and put him inside. Kage Kingsu tilted his head and said, "Speaking of which, we are quite predestined to meet in a place like this." Madara crossed his arms. "Humph, who has any fate with a woman like you? We have only met 3 times, I have a feeling this is just the beginning." As he said that, Kage Kingsu looked at Ben and asked, "Are you interested in hanging out with me?" Madara was stunned. "Let me hang out with you? You want me, Uchiha Madara, to hang out with a guy from the Senju clan like you?" As he spoke, his expression began to become a little unhappy. Kage Kingsu said to him, "Didn't you say before that you wanted to defeat Kage and end the chaos? Since you want to end the chaos, then our goals don't conflict, and you can do it without defeating Kage. Want to end the chaotic world? Humph, you're probably overthinking it. What I meant was that as long as the Senju are defeated, the Uchiha clans can sweep away all the ninja clans in the Land of Fire, and then the chaotic world will naturally end." Hearing his words, Kage Kingsu showed no expression. "If that's the case, then there's nothing more to say." Sensing her change of mood, Madara asked, "Since you want to end the chaos, shouldn't our ideas be the same? Defeat the Uchiha and sweep away all the ninja clans in the Land of Fire. People with different ideas cannot work together." Kage Kingsu was too lazy to pay attention to him and turned away. "Hey, you realistic woman, are you ignoring me now? I just helped you." Seeing her walking further and further away, Ben quickly chased after her. "What do you mean by letting me hang out with you? What have you done over the years? Why did you start a business?" Senju Kingsu stopped and said to him, "Follow me, I will help you become the leader of the Uchiha clan in advance. You can lead the Uchiha clan to surrender to Senju, and the 2 major ninja clans will join forces to establish a force, which can also end this chaotic world." Madara asked curiously, "Let me become the leader of the Uchiha clan? How do I do it?" Could it be to help him improve his strength? To make him stronger than his father? Kage Kingsu, "I will help you kill your father, so that you can become the new clan leader." Spot, Pure Land. The Thousand-Armed Buddha laughed out loud. "I can see it." The corner of Uchiha Tajima's mouth twitched. This is so presumptuous of you to say. Tobirama, I wish you a happy cooperation." Ben Wuyu held his forehead with his hand. As expected, I guessed that she wouldn't say anything nice. On screen, the first chance for the 2 of them to be alone was given up by Madara. He was afraid that if he continued talking with Kage Kingsu, he would not be able to resist taking action on the way back as he walked. Madara thought about what he should do next after Kai and Xiaoking's returns to the clan, and I saw Hashirama teasing one of the puppies. He wanted to stop it, but was pushed aside by Hashirama. Let me see what it is. Ouch. He looked at Kai and Xiaoking's with a grievance and whimpered. Hey, is my aunt back? Look, my aunt, Huajun is not moving for some reason. As he said this, Hashirama picked up the puppy and put it aside, then took the puppy back. Hey, he opened his mouth, but stopped himself from speaking. After a while, the puppy finally moved. It howled at Hashirama, as if it wanted to rush up and bite him. Hashirama scratched his head in confusion. Hey, it can move again? What happened? Kai and Xiaoking's said in a gloomy tone. My dear nephew, imagine that while you are taking a shit, a guy who is countless times bigger than you is holding you back and forth. Hashirama's expression froze. Is that so, Ninja World? As expected of you, it seems to be true. Not only dogs, but people also don't move around when they're squatting in the toilet. Why is it so vivid to be carried back and forth while taking a shit? If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 547, The Ideal City. In a few days' morning, Riverside, Hashirama was talking to Madara about a bright future. Sitting on the ground, with his hands on the ground and his upper body leaning back, Madara looked at the sky and murmured softly, establishing a village. Is this also the purpose of Senju Aotake, eh? And Ben hummed and said, I met your aunt a few days ago and we chatted for a while, but I think what you said is much more reliable than your aunt. Hashirama was talking about an alliance, but Senju Aotake wanted the Uchiha to submit to the Senju. This is simply impossible. Hashirama was even more surprised. My aunt also wants to build a ninja village. Madara was puzzled. You don't know? I don't know. My aunt never told us these things. Madara sat up straight. Hashirama, what's wrong? Madara stretched out a hand and slowly clenched it. When we become stronger, we will secretly build a village belonging to the Senju and Uchiha. Without your aunt, you dare to ask Uchiha to submit to Senju? Ben was gnashing his teeth secretly. Sooner or later, that woman will pay the price for her arrogance. In short, when building a ninja village, you must get ahead of your aunt. Make sure she doesn't feel any involvement. Hashirama muttered quietly. He still hates his aunt, and he even said that he was not kicked. What did you say? I said yes. It's settled. At this moment, a voice that made Hashirama shudder sounded from behind the two of them. What is settled? Hashirama and Madara were shocked. The two of them turned around little by little and saw Kai and Xiaoking's folding his arms and looking at them with his head tilted. Auntie? Why are you here? Madara denied it. Nothing, we were just chatting. Senju Aotake pointed at the two and accused them. I've been here for quite a while, and you still want to build a ninja village without telling me. This is really too much. Madara was silent. Zyujin asked with anticipation. Auntie, what do you think of this idea? Isn't it super great? Of course it's great. But, my nephew, you actually want to abandon me and build a ninja village with a foreigner? Kai and Xiaoking's pretended to wipe away his tears, and pitifully pulled his nephew's sleeve and shook him. Please, take me with you. Madara was instantly petrified. Hashirama's scalp tingled. Okay. I promise. I lied to Ben before, so how could I not bring my aunt along? Madara glared at Hashirama for betraying revolutionary friendship. I really didn't expect. Is Kai and Xiaoking's actually like this in private? Kai and Xiaoking's glanced at Ben with pride. Madara couldn't help but roll his eyes. Is it childish? She was obviously a woman 7 or 8 years older than him and Hashirama, but she looked less mature than his brother just now. At first he thought that with Kai and Xiaoking's experience in his previous life, he would be a very difficult and cold person to get along with. The result, Ninja World. After getting to know him, you found that his personality is even more eccentric than Hashirama's. Right, haha. Hashirama was caught in the middle and was in a dilemma. In the end, he chose to betray Madara-sama. I like elders who don't put on airs in front of the younger generation the most. With an aunt like this, even though the ninja god has lost his other brothers and mother, his childhood must have been much happier than before. Really? You're trying to trick me into giving birth to an aunt again? Pure Land. Izuna stroked his chin. My sister-in-law is a soul from another world. She has no feelings for the Senju, which means she has no hatred towards the Uchiha either. So when it comes to building a village together, she may be more open-minded than Hashirama. Senju, if he really had feelings for Senju, it would be most reasonable to kill his eldest brother the first time they met. as this would create an enemy who would cause trouble for Senju when he grew up on screen. Kai and Xiaoking's expression returned to normal. However, since you want to build a ninja village, why not just build an ideal city that can protect more people and be better? Ideal city? Madara and Hashirama were both confused. Kai and Xiaoking's gestured exaggeratedly. Yes, build a very big city. Hashirama was amused by her funny look. Madara drooped his eyelids. You guys, actually your goal all along has been this, not to build a ninja village, right? Ahahoha. Kai and Xiaoking's scratched his head and looked at the two of them seriously. As an elder, I will teach you a lesson today. Don't trust people who look good easily. The victim, Hashirama, raised his hand. I understand this principle. Then, Hashirama asked with a puzzled look, and, what does the ideal city you mentioned look like? Pure Land. Hashirama smiled. In fact, at that time, he didn't care much about building a village or a city. He and Madara just wanted to end the chaos at that time and protect the people in the village. If you build a city, then there is no conflict in protecting the people in that city. On screen, this city, I have been working hard for this ideal since 8 years ago, Madara complained in his mind. Effort? Maybe it's planning. Even though it was just a complaint, the pressure in my heart was quite great since Senju Kingsu dared to tell her this so blatantly. It meant that she was absolutely sure that Uchiha could not get rid of it. I don't know what kind of changes will happen in the ninja world once Senju Aotake's plan is implemented, and what impact it will have on Uchiha, Hashirama exclaimed. 8 years ago? Yes, now we are just waiting for the perfect timing. All the policies have been perfected. As long as the city is built, we can implement it immediately. As he spoke, Kai and Xiaoking's took out a plan from the scroll. There are many illustrations in it, which I drew myself, and the appearance of the city was also designed by me. The reason I told you all this is because I believe in my vision. You two will become the strongest in your respective families in the future. I need your help. This is why I didn't kill Madara on the battlefield. Madara had mixed feelings. Kai and Xiaoking's it was just because he was kicked to pieces. Spot. Ben was immediately furious. You damned woman. Do you need me to explain this to you a few more times? It's useless. It's useless. Kai and Xiaoking's smiled. Sorry, I touched your sore spot. Madara roared. You still want me to help you? Dream on. If I help you, my name Madara will be written backwards. If Hashirama doesn't want to build a ninja village and insists on building that crappy city with you, I will build a ninja village myself. Kai and Xiaoking's didn't say anything else. She noticed that Hashirama was staring at the plan in her hand with an look as if he saw bone, so she couldn't help but laugh and stuffed the plan into his arms. I just happened to run into you guys when I was passing by here. Please take your time to read the plan. If you have any questions, you can ask Hashirama to ask me later. I have other things to do, so I will leave first. The vein on Ben's forehead was throbbing. This woman, ignore him again, hateful. After walking 2 steps, Senju Aotake looked back at Madara and said to him with a smile, Madara, I hope we won't become enemies in the future. Madara was stunned looking at that bright face. He felt his heart beat violently. The dark eyes that were originally filled with anger turned into surprise. Kai and Xiaoking's asked in confusion, what? Madara shook his head and became much more conscious. He made up an excuse to get away with it. Nothing. I just thought your hair was black, but after the sunlight found out, I realized it was brown. Ninja world, I'm curious about what type of beauty my aunt is. An oval face is more in line with the image of her in my mind, but an oval face and brown hair also go well together. Aren't the functions of building a city and a village the same? Even if it's ideal, how ideal can it be? War will still break out when it's time to break out. If you don't understand something, you can ask your aunt. There must be something you don't understand. Even if you don't, you have to let your aunt explain it in person. This is a great opportunity to cultivate feelings. It's the same for me. My hair looks black in places without sunlight, but turns dark brown when exposed to the sun. Hiss Masaka. Could it be that I also have the Thousand Hands bloodline in my body? Pure Land. Tabirama said calmly. It's just that there are more tribesmen with brown hair. In fact, there are also black and other colors. Izuna pretended to be thoughtful. So the white-haired Tabirama Senju is a skewer. Senju Itama touched his hair. Chapter 548, Flame City. On screen before Madara could react, Hashirama's exclamation reached his ears. Motor. Look, Hashirama pointed to a drawing in the planner. When Ban looked over, he saw 2 large characters at the top. Yanshen, is this the name of this city? Below is a dense collection of small characters. Madara took a quick glance and then looked at the painting below. Madara's eyes were full of disbelief. Is this an office building? Does an office building have to be built so luxuriously? Then he looked at the small words above again. It is well written, Hashirama said with emotion. Yes, even the prices of tables, chairs, sofas, cabinets, dark rooms, beds, and even some items and decorations have been calculated and marked in advance. The first page is just an office building, but it already shows my aunt's determination to build this city. Madara glanced at the words marked at the bottom and his scalp couldn't help but feel numb. Including labor costs, the estimated cost of building an office building is 500 million taels. It costs 500 million taels to build an office space. Jinsho Qingzu is planning to be the city lord herself, right? She really doesn't treat herself badly at all. Even her office is so luxurious. Fire Nation Muai Village Hokage Building. Shikaku took a look around and said, 500 million, or 500 million from the Warring States period. Yutang Kahoru shook her head slightly. I can't imagine how luxurious it is. Mito Kato sighed. It would be nice if Hiruzen was that rich. Oh, the current Hokage is Fugaku. Fugaku, is this a hint to him? She must be hinting at him, right? How can he have so much money? Besides, what's the point of building such a good office space? Sarutobi Hiruzen touched his nose. The office even has a darkroom and a bed. Which means the future will be very busy, and I may not even be able to go home. Shikaku also changed the subject and said, I am very curious if there is anything in Yanchang that is worth learning from for the village. Fugaku also coughed dryly. Lu Jiayu did remind me that Jinsho Qingzu is a soul from another world. Her thoughts are very different from those of people in our world. Maybe we can learn a lot from her. On screen Hashirama turned to the next page. Madara and Hashirama, in tacit understanding, looked downwards. First hiss, how rich is this guy Qian Shao Kingzu? 2 billion to build a school? Too much? How big is this school? Hashirama scratched his head. I only know that my aunt is very rich, but I don't know how much she has. 2 billion, I can't even imagine it. Madara glanced at the introduction. Grades 1 to 3 learn cultural knowledge, and grades 4 to 6 learn basic ninjutsu knowledge. Students in the 6th grade can apply for graduation and engage in related work. You can also submit an application and go on to higher education after passing the assessment. You will learn ninja professional knowledge from grades 7 to 9. After graduation, you can become a D-level ninja and accept missions. Special talents can apply for early graduation through assessment and cultural course examinations. The school has 9 floors in total, with classrooms, practice rooms, playgrounds, canteens, dormitories. For special occasions, there are practice rooms for senior students. The annual maintenance cost of the practice room is as high as 300 million taels. It seems that my aunt attaches great importance to the school. The school building in this painting looks simple, but it has a sacred and solemn feeling. The two of them read this plan countless times. What a prosperous city. But is it really possible? Madara looked up at the blue sky. End the chaotic world and build a beautiful ideal city. The pictures flashed through his mind one by one. Office buildings, schools, bustling commercial streets, residential areas in 5 regions, security departments in 4 regions, armed departments. The area of Yanchang is 5 times the size of the ninja village that he and Hashirama originally wanted to build. I am now thinking, how great would it be if there really was a city like this? Hearing what Hashirama said, Madara scratched his head in annoyance after seeing the appearance of Yanchang and imagining such a beautiful and happy life in the future. How can we endure this miserable life in reality? It goes without saying that how wonderful it will be to live in Yanchang in the future. The tall buildings in the plan and the exquisite and beautiful decorations inside flashed through his mind unconsciously, and the corners of Ben's mouth twitched. Before this, I didn't dare to do this. Hashirama wiped the saliva from the corner of his mouth with his sleeve. Coward, I dare. I will have such a dream tonight. After seeing Yanchang, why would we build a village? Everything is ready. What we lack now is the 2 major ninja clans putting aside their hatred for each other and a lot of money. The gleam in his eyes was so dazzling that even Madara found it a little blinding. Modillah. No matter what, we must build such an ideal city in the future, not just for the group of people we are protecting, but also for our people. They should also experience such a beautiful and comfortable life. 3 years passed in a blink of an eye. During these 3 years, Madara and Hashirama's private meetings went unnoticed. Qian Shao Kingzu would occasionally go to the river to answer some of the questions that confused the two. After 3 years of getting along, there is no longer the confrontation between Senjo Aotake and Madara as it was at the beginning, and they have a good understanding of each other's personalities. This day, after the sparring between Hashirama and Madara ended, the two of them sat on the ground panting. Hashirama, You are still so strong, damn it, Madara, how come your physical skills have improved so quickly? Bam laughed, it means that I work harder than you in private. Kai and Xiaoking's who walked over and handed the water in his hand to the two of them just yesterday. Madara confessed his feelings to her. At first she thought that she was the opposite sex that Madara had come into contact with the most, so that was why he liked her, but then I heard from Ban that he fell in love with me the first time he saw me. Kai and Xiaoking's who naturally refused in the end. She never thought that she would fall in love with someone else, let alone a kid who was so much younger than her if nothing unexpected happened. She felt that she would die alone. Ninja World, when I heard that you fell in love with your aunt the first time you met her, I could see that Madara-sama was full of purpose. It seems that Madara-sama can't wait any longer. It's true, it's been so many years, and this is different from sleeping. It would be very tormenting for anyone else. They would dream of awakening the samsara as soon as possible. If there really is a city like Yancheng, then the entire ninja world will be changed because of it. On screen neither Senju Aotake nor Madara showed any abnormality. Madara didn't hesitate to take the bottle of water, unscrewed the cap and gulped it down. A few seconds later puff, Ben wiped the corner of his mouth with his arm. What is this? Why are there bubbles? How about lemon sparkling water? Isn't it very addictive after being chilled? This stuff is very popular in the ninja world. Madara took another bite. It's really enjoyable, Hoshirama said proudly. My aunt developed this, and I drank it half a year ago, although the sparkling water at that time was still awful. Ban stared at Kai and Xiaoking's who blankly. This thing should have made you a lot of money, right? Kai and Xiaoking's who sat down next to the two of them. Don't worry, there will be no shortage of money. If Yancheng is built, it will only be more prosperous than the city in the painting. The only thing left now is the reconciliation between Senju and Uchiha. This is the last step. Chapter 549 General Trend. Before the two could react, Kai and Xiaoking's who continued, yesterday I went to the pig, deer and butterfly tribes and persuaded them to join Yancheng. Today we will go to Sarutobi, Shimura and Uzumaki. Tomorrow I will go to Birame, Inuzuka, Hatake, and Kurama. The day after tomorrow. Is Uchiha listening to her words? The relief in Madara's heart disappeared, replaced by confusion. That is to say, the Aino, deer, and Chao clans had already joined forces with 1,000 hands yesterday. Wait till tomorrow. If Uchiha didn't join Yancheng, he would most likely be the enemy everywhere. It all happened so suddenly it caught him off guard. He lowered his head and hid his face in the shadows. I couldn't suppress the worry in my heart with Uchiha's personality. How could he possibly submit? This is the most peaceful way. Kai and Xiaoking's who said, oh, I forgot to say that, I was the first city lord. As for the second term, anyone can participate in the election, and it will be decided by the residents' vote. The term of office of the city lord is 5 years, which means that I will step down after 5 years. If you want to participate in the election for the second city lord, it is best to gain the recognition of the residents and let them see your abilities. After saying this, Senju Aotake finally discovered that something was wrong with Madara. What's wrong? Madara? Are you still confused? Madara was silent. Hashirama also noticed that the atmosphere was a little strange, and he had a bad feeling he seemed to have guessed something. Hashirama stood up, his tone very excited. Madara, didn't we agree before? We should build that city together. Our dream will come true soon. What are you still hesitating about? Madara clenched his fists, then unclenched them. When he looked up at Hashirama, 3 Magatama appeared in his eyes. Yet, we agreed on it, but this day came so fast that I haven't grown up yet. The ideal city is beautiful, and it is also my dream, but I am the son of the clan leader. I should put the clan first. You should understand the Uchiha's character. I don't dare to gamble. Hashirama, as the son of the clan leader, you should be able to understand me. Hashirama opened his mouth. For some reason, he suddenly felt a little guilty. Sorry, Madara. I am too selfish. Kai and Xiaoking's who also sighed. I see. Pure Land Tabirama was thoughtful in the matter of building Yancheng. It has always been this cheap aunt who has taken the initiative. That's why Madara, who hasn't grown up yet, feels insecure. This is also the reason why the cheap brother said that he was selfish, because the eldest brother took everything for granted and did not think about these issues from Madara's perspective. What Madara was worried about was that the Uchiha would fight to the death to resist the establishment of Flame City and would be unwilling to reconcile with the Senju. And finally meet him his rebel and under the joint attack of all the ninja clans in the Land of Fire. And so, Tobirama uttered 2 words, war. This was the result he expected. This is the best time for Uchiha to launch a war against the Senju. If it is any later, There will be no chance. My cheap aunt is very good at taking advantage of situations by winning over all the ninja clans. She was able to form a huge force. This force has already overwhelmed the Uchiha clans and the smaller ninja clans that have not been won over. No matter how the Uchiha clans resist, Yanchang will definitely be established in the end unless Madara can use his strength to break this momentum. This is the inevitable result, and Cheap Ant should pay attention to spots combined with the information revealed in previous conversations. My Cheap Ant's business is spread all over the ninja world, and this ideal city is equivalent to being built by gathering the resources of the ninja world. Yanchang will be a beautiful city, and its residents will live a happy and prosperous life. Then, the ninja world whose resources have been drained will be in a bad state, and when people react in the future, Yanchang will suffer backlash. Tobirama narrowed his eyes. In order to protect this ideal city, the power of Big Brother and Madara is very important, so my cheap aunt would never kill Ban no matter what. The corners of Madara's mouth curled up, standing outside the situation. You can indeed see many things that people inside the situation cannot see. It would be very interesting if a woman like this really appeared in the ninja world. On screen, Madara was a little afraid to look at Hashirama's red eyes, so he turned his back to the two of them. His voice was a little hoarse. In the name of the young chief of the Uchiha clan, I declare war on the Senju clan. After saying that, Madara looked deeply at Senju Aotake, and then his figure flashed and he left. No matter how powerful the Uchiha clan is, they cannot compete with so many ninja clans, so he couldn't delay any longer. Hashirama looked in the direction where Madara disappeared, his whole body trembling. Why did it turn out like this? Kai and Shao Kingzu patted his shoulder and comforted him softly. Okay, don't be sad. If we want to fulfill our dream, we must defeat the Uchiha on the battlefield and use our strength to tell them that this is the only way to go. It will also give them and Madara a step forward. If we defeat them, it will be natural for them to join Yancheng, so this war is the decisive battle between Senju and Uchiha. The tears that were about to burst out of Hashirama's eyes were suddenly stopped. Defeat the Uchiha and give Madara and the Uchiha a chance to step aside. So, Madara, Kai and Shao Kingzu smiled. Try not to let the Uchiha lose too badly. If they hold grudges, it will be detrimental to the unity of Yancheng. It is good. The next day, battlefield. The Senju tribe member looked at the Uchiha tribe member who raised his sword in front of him and closed his eyes in despair. Boom. The Uchiha clan member vomited blood and flew backwards. The 1,000 hands people who heard the sound opened their eyes and immediately breathed a sigh of relief. Master Kingzu. Another battlefield. Izuna looked solemnly at Tobirama in front of her. Senju Tobirama, you have made great progress during this period. He has been training strictly with his elder brother, but he didn't expect that after so much time, Senju Tobirama has not been left behind by him. However, no matter how exquisite your moves are, they will be exposed in front of these eyes. Tobirama tightened the knife in his hand. Uchiha Izuna, you still talk so much nonsense. As soon as the words fell, the two rushed towards each other at the same time. Not far away, Uchiha Tajima and Senju Batsuma also fought fiercely. On the contrary, it's Madara and Hashirama. Ding. Madara, how long will this war last? Many of our people have already died. Madara was a little confused by Hashirama's words, but he did not stop his hands and slash with his sword. Hashirama raised his sword to block again. Hashi hot mom. Stop saying those inexplicable things. We are on the battlefield now and we are the enemy. Ding. The two men's knives collided again. Hashirama grinned. Stop pretending, Mata. How could you possibly hide how strong you are from me? Up to now, you haven't even used your full strength. Madara was irritated by what he said. Asshole. I told you, this is a battlefield. Madara seized the opportunity and kicked Hashirama in the chest, sending him flying. Hashirama, whose body fell to the ground, grimaced and climbed up while rubbing his chest. This kick is your real strength. Whether we win or lose, I just hope this final war can end as soon as possible. Chapter 550. Stone Tablet. Win or lose. Madara pursed his lips just as Senju Aotake said. The purpose of this final battle was to give him and Uchiha a way out. He didn't care about it, but he had to give Uchiha a way out. Therefore, this war, in which one's own people were being sacrificed every moment, was a torment for both him and Hashirama. At this time, not far away, the figures of Senju Batsuma and Uchiha Tajima crossed each other. The two figures remained motionless. After a moment, they both vomited blood. Father, Izuna shouted anxiously and was almost hit by Tobirama's sword. Izuna's shout made Tobirama, Hashirama and Madara look towards the battlefield at the same time with a clang. The samurai sword in Tobirama's hand fell to the ground. Hashirama was also stunned. Madara's pupils trembled violently. Izuna dodged and supported Uchiha Tajima, who was falling backwards. Tobirama also came behind Senju Batsuma and supported him. This sudden change caught everyone present off guard. Hashirama and Madara reacted almost at the same time and rushed towards their respective fathers. Uchiha Tajima covered his abdomen, and blood instantly soaked his clothes. Let's go back first. If this war continues, it will be disadvantageous to Uchiha Thousand Hands, but there is also Thousand Hands King's whose strength is not weaker than Thousand Hands Buddha. Father, please don't say anything. I will take you back for treatment. When he said this, Madara sounded a little flustered. After hearing what Madara said, Uchiha Tajima wanted to say something, but he vomited blood again. This day the atmosphere in both the Senju clan and the Uchiha clan was somewhat depressing. Uchiha clan land. Uchiha Tajima looked at Madara with complicated eyes, and said to him weakly, "What you said before, it seems that you have to decide for yourself, Uchiha. I'll leave it to you, Madara." The next day in the afternoon, looking at Madara's back, Izuna wiped her eyes and adjusted her expression to make herself look like normal. "Brother, please eat something." Madara didn't respond. Pure Land. Tobirama raised an eyebrow. "Dead." The thousand-armed Buddha seemed a little melancholy. "Nothing is permanent, nothing is easy." Uchiha Tajima's mouth twitched. "So? I don't deserve to live in peace, do I?" On screen, Izuna took the food and sat next to Madara. There was a long silence. "Brother, it has already happened. The tribesmen captured by the Thousand Hands are still waiting for us to rescue them. As the tribe leader, you must cheer up as soon as possible." "How could I not feel guilty?" Hearing this, Izuna was stunned and turned to look at Madara. Madara lowered his head, his tone full of self-blame. "Father, you and the clansmen are all fighting against the Thousand Hands for the honor of the family. Only I." It was clearly a war, but it seemed like he was just playing with Hashirama. Whenever he thought of this, he couldn't forgive himself. "I killed my father, obviously. As long as that city is built, if I could defeat Hashirama, this wouldn't have happened." Ninja World. I can testify that Madara-sama has been led astray by the god of ninja. We can build a city soon. I want to know what the difference is between a city and a ninja village. Alice, Madara-sama only wanted to step up, but this terrible fate took away his father. Actually, Hashirama should be sad too, right? At this time, Madara-sama, are you still thinking about building a city? Forgot what I said before. If you help build this city, your name will be written backwards. I really don't understand. Is that ideal city really that beautiful? Isn't it just made of money? Why are Madara-sama and Hashirama both crazy? The structure of the ninja world has changed. Without Konoha village, other big countries will probably follow suit and build cities instead of villages. On screen, Izuna's pupils contracted. "Brother, your eyes." Madara only felt a powerful dark chakra gathering in his eyes, and at the same time his body was filled with a huge power. This power was so strong that it gave him the illusion that he was omnipotent. Even his mind was affected by this power. "This is the power that my father gave me to protect the Uchiha," he murmured. "You let me decide for myself whether I should build Yanchang with Kai and Shao. Then, I think I know what I should do." Madara stood up, a powerful aura bursting from his body. He turned his head to Izuna and said, "Tomorrow morning, declare war on the Thousand Hands." Izuna finally breathed a sigh of relief. "As long as you don't lose heart, big brother, that's good enough." Madara looked down at his palm. "I will use the power my father gave me to defeat the Thousand Hands, then use the praise of Uchiha by the residents of Yanchang to commemorate my father." Evening, Minaga Shrine. Quan Nai asked in confusion, "Brother, what are you doing here?" After awakening those eyes, I felt as if there was a force guiding me here. Quan Na nodded. "Big brother has awakened the rumored Mangekyo Sharingan. No matter what happens to you, it is not something worth being surprised about." "Izuna, wait for me here." With that said, Madara stepped into the shrine and walked straight to the stone tablet. "Is this the place?" Looking at the words that he couldn't understand, a kaleidoscope appeared in Madara's eyes. "Is this the prophecy of the six-path sage?" After seeing the words above, a drop of sweat slid down Ban's face. How is this possible? I do not know how long it has been." Izuna finally saw Madara coming out. "Big brother, you." Izuna had just taken 2 steps forward when she noticed that something was wrong with Madara's mood at the moment. "Brother, what did you see in there?" Madara frowned. After hesitating for a while, he finally decided not to hide the truth from this only remaining relative of his. The stone tablet left by the six-path sage records a method to bring peace to the ninja world and a prophecy, the method to bring peace to the ninja world. I don't understand the words above. Maybe my pupil power is not enough. As for the prophecy, Madara's frown deepened. Izumi's head is full of question marks. Brother, are you kidding me? You have awakened the main Gekyo Sharingan. How can your pupil power be insufficient? Forget it. What is the prophecy then? Madara let out a long breath. The prophecy says that Senju Aotake of the Senju clan is a demon woman who brings disaster to the world. As long as she exists in the ninja world, it will be full of tragedy and pain. There are more question marks in Izuna's head. Madara continued, as long as she is killed, the ninja world full of tragedy and pain will return to its original state. Izuna immediately said, then kill her. Madara shook his head. When I awaken to Samsara I will also leave stone tablets everywhere and talk nonsense. Joke if Qian Shaokingzu is a witch who brings disaster to the world, then what is the point of his ideal of building a city over the years? Pure Land. Izuna also frowned. Has Black Zetsu already started targeting my sister-in-law? Anyway, it's good that Big Brother didn't believe it. To bear him aside, it seems that Black Zetsu has anticipated this kind of thing. I'm not afraid that you won't believe it. I am afraid that the seed planted in my heart will grow wildly one day. P.S. I'm going crazy. I started to burp again. I just typed half a sentence, and after a burp, I completely forgot how to continue writing. I can't stop coughing violently. The acid water I coughed out can last for half an hour, and then I will continue to burp. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.